Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show on it's Tuesday, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe it's Tuesday.
It is.
Hello, T-Roy.
Hey, buddy.
It's weird seeing you here. I don't like you being within swinging distance.
Yeah, it's probably smart.
I know you don't like me very much, and so that having this sort of distance between us.
Yeah, I gave you the option where he wanted to sit, and he decided he wanted to take the helm.
I'm not liked by many people around here, and so I try to keep as much like
Smart.
reach distance.
Yeah, I don't. I got reach, but I don't have any quicks anymore.
I think I'd
So
see
you'll
it
see it
coming.
coming. Yeah, there's no real way. I'd have to really lunge.
If I leaned in and got in your face, though, you could bop me
Oh, yeah.
before I could
Yeah,
react.
I wouldn't lean in because then I get a hold of you.
Yeah, you got a hold of me. It wouldn't
It's
be
over.
good.
I'll just bring you to me. I don't have to go get you at that point.
Nice shirt. It's
Thank
your
you.
Connor Bruin shirt. I like
My
that.
homage to.
Yeah. You're probably going to get us kicked off Facebook now.
Can't.
No?
We've done this many times.
I know, but did we find a solution to that? I
Oh,
thought
this was my workaround. This was my
Yeah.
my Zuckerfucker.
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
Indeed. I
Well-
can't apparently put this picture on, but I can wear it.
Yeah, sure.
So, God bless.
Well, who is it? I don't even know who that is.
Pablo Escobar?
Oh, yeah. The drug guy,
His
right?
famous mug shot, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Medellin cartel.
So the deal is you can't post it on Facebook.
Literally made a comment that Bone Job looked like...
In his
Yeah.
in his email photo, he was like, "Yeah, he sort of looks like that famous
okay.
Pablo
and then
Escobar
he
picture."
posted a picture of that picture, or his picture, and a different picture of Pablo, and
Gotcha.
said, "I don't see it." And I replied, "No, this one with this picture."
And they said, no bueno.
And I was,
was
I got
like,
kicked
what
off
did they say, hate
Facebook.
speech
It
or
was-
something?
yeah,
It
I
was
got
like
kicked off for
inciting violence?
It was on my birthday, which is what infuriated me.
Yeah. So anybody, the 1,000 people that wrote "Happy
Yeah,
Birthday"
got
Troy, you
no
couldn't-
response, no
you
anything.
just-
Boom, I
you
was just
ghosted.
gone.
That's
And it
all
was
those
nothing else.
birthday wishes.
Yeah, I mean, it was just one of those asinine things. So
So stupid. And honestly, this is as famous a mugshot as Elvis's or
Exactly
Jimi
right.
Hendrix.
Exactly.
I mean, it's part of pop culture.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
is why it's
and if
so
you're not going
absurd.
to take any context at all, that just somehow using this picture when another picture was totally
Right. I wonder how the
innocent.
algorithm does work for real. Like,
I
for
don't-
real, like how it's, because I don't know if it's a supercomputer. Obviously, some
Yeah.
individual's not sitting there going, Troy Courtney posted this picture or whatever. But like,
knows?
But like, there's sex shit and there's like swearing on there now and stuff too. So like, what is
I literally got a picture that on my like ad feed
Yeah.
once that literally was a dick. It was a real
Right.
male dick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I guess this is okay to be in my feed for
Exactly.
somehow, some way.
Yeah, sure.
That's what I would say. Like,
But-
I don't understand sometimes what is
Yeah.
allowed and what
Well,
isn't.
good luck trying to file a complaint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I waited. I had a 24-hour ban,
Right.
And the second it was up, I said, "Let me get this out of the way first."
Yeah.
You know, thank
Thanks
you
for
for
the
everybody
birthday
for the
shit.
birthday wishes.
Right.
Send.
Right.
Now, fuck you, you fucking boo, and then it was like
Yeah.
a 3-day fucking ban for that.
Which turned into 30 days.
Yeah.
I mean, they ended up hammering us.
Yeah.
Because I started like
there was a
in
whole-
support of T-Roy. It was
Yeah.
like I can't remember what the hashtag was.
Yeah, free T-Roy
Free
or something
T-Roy.
like that, and everybody was changing their profile picture to,
my God.
to
Pablo,
this one.
and it floated for like a week,
Yeah.
and it was fine. And then
Yeah.
all of a sudden they were like, "Oh, I see what you did, you smartass," and they banned me for 30 days. It was like you.
I'm not kidding. I really would love to actually have something. And you know what? They couldn't do it. I don't think any of them know it. I think there's a few people that might know what the rules are, if anybody knows.
Oh,
the
they're
actual-
arbitrary.
Exactly
They're
right.
they're
Yeah.
they're,
Yeah.
they're applying their set of rules wherever they feel like.
Right.
That's most of the problem with it. Is like,
Totally.
okay, I've seen 50 other people do this. Why are you coming after me? Like, if this is such an egregious violation that we need to stop everything and boot people off the platform, well, then at least rule it equally across the board. What are we doing over here, pal?
Trying to go up.
Yeah.
Feel like
Do you
I'm
want
at
to
the
try a
fucking-
different chair?
I feel like I'm at the kiddie table here.
Yeah, I kind of like it. I kind of like having you at eye level.
lording over him.
Yeah, I'm always surrounded by you tall assholes.
That
it's
is true.
Never been cool. Hey, that's Isis' voice you hear over there. Hello, Isis.
Hello.
How are you, pal?
Hello, Mike. Great, Michael. I'm so glad to be here.
Man, you look good.
Thank you.
He's thin,
with
isn't
the
he?
yeah, even with the beard, you look good.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. You know,
It's
doing what I
actually,
do.
it's actually cleaned up a little bit. You did some
yeah,
trimming in there.
I did trim it a little bit. I trimmed it ridiculously. The only reason I trimmed it was for Kaylee's birthday party.
Oh
I
my
came
God.
home and
yeah,
I was like,
well,
I
the
should trim
1-year-old's
my
going to
beard.
notice. So
I
you
know.
gotta-
Well, I meant for the people at the party.
What have you trimmed more in the last year, your beard or your balls?
So this is so bad. I kept saying to myself
Beard.
that I was going to do it.
Yeah.
I haven't fucking.
Are you just an explosion down
I
there?
haven't done shit down there in more than a year.
Wow.
Bush bomb.
Yeah,
Good Lord.
I
It's an explosion.
I keep fucking saying that I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
And then I've just fucking
You know, in the rare
I swear
chance
to-
that you might actually
I know.
find a woman that is willing to have coitus with you,
I know.
That's
you
hilarious.
might want to. I mean, at least improve the odds of a
Be prepared.
of
I
a
understand.
second opportunity.
Well, totally
what you
get it,
don't
dude.
wanna, what you don't want to do is be like, I haven't touched it for a year, and then some chick's into you, and you run home and shave it that night.
Oh, God.
And then you're just
No,
dealing with
I
it
know.
freshly, and it's like, wait, did you go home this afternoon and do this?
right. I know.
So you should get on it. Easy,
Here's
so
what
just
happened,
keep up
dude.
with it.
For real, what happened was I was gonna do it, and then it was like, whatever. I just got lazy, didn't, and then I just kept saying, yeah, gotta do it. And you're right. Then my thought process was like, well, I don't want to fucking shave it, then go out to the bar tonight or something.
Yeah,
And I don't
yeah.
know. I'll do it soon here. It hasn't really been an issue, I would say.
Yeah. No, I get it.
It hasn't
Keep us
come into
posted, for sure.
It hasn't come into play.
Hey,
as
you
far
asked
as-
the question.
No, he did.
I knew the answer was the
Yeah.
irony.
No,
Yeah.
well, that's not. But honestly, I've never been like that. Even though I don't get laid that often, before last year. I honestly used to do it like once a month, I think, or something. So it wasn't something I wasn't doing, and all of a sudden, I just didn't do it for a long time.
Do you clip your bag from time to time and leave little blood spots?
It's very rare. I think that has happened, but it's not.
Yeah.
it's rare. I would say, but.
Oh, very skilled.
I think we've asked this before, but are you using the same trimmer on balls?
You
and
have
beard?
asked me before.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I think it is.
Absolutely.
I don't think he
But at this point, it doesn't matter. It's been a year.
That's the thing. I don't even. Literally don't. I haven't shaved in more than 2 years, in more than a year. So it wouldn't matter anyway. Like I
Yeah.
haven't used my razor on my face since December of 21.
Yeah.
So I guess that one. I was before using the same one. I can't be honest with you.
Yeah.
you go
But,
full
like,
razor there?
No,
blade?
have the what do you call it? The little adjustment,
Yeah.
things or whatever.
Clippers, trimmers.
Trimmers, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't have even a regular razor anymore. I just did trimmers. But like my thought
I
process
say, that's
was,
dangerous shit right there.
Yeah, going straight razor
Straight
on the
blade
bag.
down there on
Oh,
the bag. Yeah.
well, here was my thought on the idea that I use the same
You got to
one.
time that out too, man, because
Yeah.
you need to be taught.
Well, the
Yeah.
thought that I used the same one on my face and down there was really. I was like,
The
I would give it like a
consistency of
month.
walnut.
I'd give it like a month. I'm like, well, I haven't touched my face in a month. So whenever I would do that, then I would go to my face and be like, okay, I'll do down there. I might as well do my face now.
You go
Before the bag
before or
or
after?
After.
So you do the bag first and then go to your face.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
You look like, wait, that's not the right
As
answer?
I'm saying,
Yeah.
no, as I'm
Yeah.
saying it out loud, it doesn't
Yes.
sound good.
No,
No, it
No,
doesn't.
it does not at all.
Not at all.
You should
No, it
definitely
sounds-
go face then bag.
Yeah.
Would be my guess.
Yeah.
You know the ridiculous. You're right.
I mean, that's like taking the washcloth to your asshole and then your face.
Just jumping in the
You know what I
shower,
mean?
just
Like-
going straight to the fucking
bag and then
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I can say, luckily, it's been a while, so I do need
catch
to
the
shave.
pits on the way up, and then
Yeah.
go ahead and get the face last.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to shave though. I've been mad at myself all up north when I was up fucking Mackinac too. Like same thing. I kept saying to myself, dude, you need to fucking shave this. But then I got harder because it's like you're in a communal bathroom and I'm like, fuck, when am I gonna do this? I gotta wake up at like 2 a.m. or something and do it. Or
Yeah.
I don't know. It's on the to-do list. I'll do it. What am I doing tomorrow? I got fucking some dentist shit tomorrow. Maybe I'll
Well,
do it
when
tomorrow.
you're hanging out at those communal groups and campers, I don't think of them as like heavy shavers. So even
Yeah.
a chick there, I don't think is going to be like startled. She might be startled if
Right.
you're shorn,
Right.
But if you've just got a meaty explosion down there, it's like, hey,
But just
you guys
try
can
and keep it under
compare notes.
control.
I don't even
That's
have
all.
the fucking. I don't
Just
have the
reel
money
it in
or
from
the
time to time. That's
Yeah.
all. You don't have to go, straight baby's ass or anything, but
No.
just keep it so it's not popping out of the jeans.
And like I said, I would tell
of
you,
the
I
phone.
agree with you on that. Like honestly, it's been something. It's funny that it even
Looks
came
like a
out because
fupa. It's just a bush in your
Yeah.
fucking pants.
Looks like the cover of a Black Crow
Well,
CD.
you know what's funny?
Crawling on the bottom of his shorts.
I gave it an honest look the other day, by the way, because I was like, I did give it an honest look, and I'm like, it's not as. It's terrible, but it definitely just stopped at some point. It didn't.
Oh, it's
just,
not expanding.
It's not
No,
Rapunzel.
all right, no,
doesn't just keep going.
Pull it out. Show Troy.
No.
Let's see where we
I'll
go.
take your word for it.
No, it's just funny because honestly, God, I just thought about that literally just the other day. Like, I thought that I should do this, and I looked.
Does
at
it really
like,
stop growing, or does it just
I don't
keep
know.
getting curlier and curlier so it doesn't seem
He's
like it
making
gets longer?
He's making that up. He does not know.
Well-
I don't know what the answer is,
No,
but
I'm
he
telling you, I
doesn't
looked
either.
at it recently, and I'm just saying,
Yeah.
I'm like, I literally was like, well, this didn't really grow past other times when
But
I've
think
let
about
it go.
it. Your armpit hair doesn't just grow down to your fucking
Right.
ass. It stops
True.
growing at some point.
Mm-hmm.
There's got to be a max to it. People that have never shaved their there's got to be millions of
yeah.
people that have never shaved their-
Right, some of those hippie people.
anything ever.
Yeah.
That
not
it
just
doesn't
hanging down
just
their
yeah,
leg.
it's just they're not tripping on it. You know,
You wouldn't think.
But
know, I don't
noticed
know,
it's got to stop at some point.
Yeah. It got to a
probably
point.
armpits is a good argument.
Thank you.
It's a good
Your
argument.
leg hair too.
Plateau.
All
But
that
it's
stuff.
weird. It's weird because facial hair will keep going.
your hair and your
Kinda
will
though,
keep going.
even that's like kinda right because to every person, like some people. Last year, for example, I literally didn't cut this for a year, and yes, it got longer than I've ever had it, but it didn't become a ZZ Top beard.
Yeah.
it didn't go
Yeah.
down. What I
Well,
mean?
but that
So,
could take decades to
Maybe
grow it
that's
that
what
long.
happens.
Maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
I am going to finally shave it. I think because if the Lions get this playoff home game,
Gotta
which they
face
should,
paint.
I'm going to face paint. I'm
Hell
going to go
yeah.
in face paint. So I'm going to finally shave it, and that's going to be fucking weird.
You going all the way down, or you just gonna like 5 o'clock shadow it? You leave a little.
Well, for the face,
No, you gotta-
I'll
you
have
gotta
to do it
sh-
all the
all
way
the
for
way,
that
yeah.
one because if I'm going to do the paint.
You're going to look
But
20 years younger.
It's going to be so
you
weird.
can't paint facial hair.
You can, but let's not give them any ideas. Let's get that shorn
Oh,
up.
okay.
I
get
do
that all
want it. You know what's
cleaned up.
funny? I decided recently that I'm kind of, even though I think I like the look, I'm kind of getting tired of it, and so I'm kind of ready for it to be gone. But I'm like, it's the winter, and this is the time. If you're gonna have a beard, it does make your face warmer.
Yeah.
Like it does help. And I thought, like, oh, I'm gonna shave it right now into fucking December, but
Yeah.
I guess
Well,
I'm going to.
You made it through No Shave November. So.
That's true.
you
I
go.
certainly
Yeah,
did that.
and that's reason enough not to shave
I didn't
right
make
there.
it through No Nut November, believe it or not. But
Did you?
No, I think
Shocking.
Wait, no nut November? Was that a thing?
Yeah, supposedly.
Were
Were you not supposed to bust a nut?
I don't even think.
I don't know
there
what that's
cannot be
for.
people that really do it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a cause for everything.
I did
but
it. I didn't beat off in November.
congratulations.
Yeah.
And no, the other shit, I guess, or no?
No, I didn't get laid. No.
Okay.
No. So I had a no nut November, unless there was like an errant, what do they call that?
Nocturnal,
Nocturnal emission that I'm not aware of.
If you had a wet dream. Or
If I
something.
could have nocturnally missed,
Yeah.
maybe I did.
Well, I mean, that's
suppose,
not
but-
that doesn't count. I wouldn't count a nocturnal emission as
Well,
as
an
a-
emission's an
Hey,
emission.
no nut is no nut.
Yeah.
I don't think there's guidelines to it
Yeah,
necessarily.
yeah. I think you fail.
I mean, I had a slow November, but I still failed.
So, I got to be honest, Mike. Now I'm kind of interested in when is the last time that you
Me, it's been a minute. Yeah,
a minute, okay.
You know what? I think a lot of it is. What'd you say? Yeah. No, I think a lot of it is meds that I'm
Yeah.
on. I think the meds that I'm on like absolutely kill.
No libido.
It's none,
Yeah.
zero, gone.
I
And
hear
so
ya.
it's either do you want to wake up with thoughts of shooting yourself in the head, or do you want to just like get through the day? And so those are the options.
think that'd be a
And so
tough
it's
call
like-
for you.
Yeah, it has
I mean,
been.
I'm
Very tough
shocked
call.
that
Very
not
tough
wanting
call.
to shoot yourself one out.
Yeah, and it's more for my sister and my mom than anything.
There you
If
go.
it wasn't for those two fucking assholes
Yeah.
in my business,
Yeah.
believe me, it'd be much easier
Yeah,
decision.
I mean, but if you made the decision, it's not like you'd have to deal with the consequences.
No, I wouldn't.
Maybe
no,
getting
but
laid
I-
would make you happier. It's possible that
Nah,
the whole full circle.
dude.
there.
Honestly,
I've often
I
wondered
look
how
at
happy
chicks
I'd
and
be if I got laid.
there's nothing there right now. Well, what
Yeah.
are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
Are you on a dating app or no?
No,
Okay.
hell no.
Okay.
Fuck no.
Okay.
Yeah.
All righty.
No, yeah. Awkward turn on
Great
that
start.
conversation. Yeah.
Sure.
Hey, I wanted to mention Killer Cares at the Lodge in Kego Harbor this Friday. I believe that's the 8th, right? Is today?
Sounds
Yes,
about right.
it's the 8th.
It's definitely the 8th.
Yeah, I'm going to be there with Drew and Trudy and Mark and Matt Riley and whatever celebs they get. But I guess the morning show has a 9 to 10 at night bartending.
That's their window.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I know Dan Miller will be there. I love Dan.
Yeah, they get a
it's-
great turnout on. I've actually never been.
Yeah.
but I see pictures.
Every year.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
exactly.
live vicariously through other people's stuff.
So I thought
But,
it was cool of them to invite me to come out this year,
Sure.
and, which is good. And so I'm going to go out there on Friday, at least from 9 to 10. I don't know. I suck at bartending, I'm sure, but
Yeah, I don't think
I
that's
could
the
pour a
point.
mean Jack and Coke, but it's going to be a big one.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? It is.
could be a
And I
triple.
think I can pour. It's going to be a triple or a quad. Deal with it. Or
Stand over your shoulder, make you use a jigger.
yeah,
Right.
Whoa, I don't think you can call them that anymore.
Yeah, for sure. You
That's
can.
what, that's
Can
what those
you?
are called.
Yeah, a jigger.
I don't
yeah.
even have one. Mod
Yeah.
jigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I put the H on the end of it. It's jigger.
I feel like someone just named it that because they want.
No, it
to say
is
the
a
word.
jigger.
Yeah,
But
it
why?
is.
Why is
It's a hard ER too.
Yeah, no doubt.
It's not a jigger.
I just wonder if someone just wanted this.
Get
if
close.
Someone wanted to say the N word and like we're just going to call it this.
Yeah,
Possibly.
Yeah, yeah. I would say that's true with the guy that dropped niggardly.
Yeah,
I think that guy just
Right.
wanted it, which is cheap, right?
we,
Isn't
we
that?
saw what you did there.
Yeah,
Yes.
I believe it's
Exactly.
cheap, and nobody knew that. They were all just like,
Right.
this fake shock.
You're like, what does that mean? You're like cheap. You're like,
Well, if the shoe fits. So yeah, there's that one. There's a few
By
of
the
them out
way,
there.
it comes from it's an old thing back in the sailing days. It comes
What
from
is?
a jigger. It comes from the smallest mast on the ship, the jigger mast. A jigger was used to refer to a sailor's daily ration of rum. And shit like so. That's
Oh,
where
yeah.
it comes. So,
So
it's not
that's-
racist.
There you go.
Yeah, no, well, we knew it wasn't
You
racist.
get 1 jigger a day. That's it.
Yeah, yeah,
I was curious. I love fucking finding out where shit comes from.
Sure.
I will say that.
yeah. Look up niggardly.
I'm good.
I think it's coward. I think it's cheap or cowardly. Or
by the
something.
way-
I think, yeah.
I can't
When
can't
you
remember
say that,
exactly.
the idea because when he said like I had some friends up there and they like Modelo, the beer Modelo, right?
Yeah, it's good beer.
And there's a black,
It's number one beer in the world now.
There's
Yeah,
is
that's
it really?
right. Yeah,
Yeah, it is.
I
used,
like
used to
it.
be Bud Light, but
Took over.
not anymore.
I'm a fan, but there's a dark version of Modelo,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't feel confident enough to pronounce it.
Negro?
Yes.
Sure.
And they're trying to get me to get it at the
Negro.
bar. Like,
That's what it
no,
is.
you gotta ask for it. I'm like, nah, I'm good.
Nah,
I'm not
Negro.
saying
You
that.
can't say
fucking-
negro. It's so
just-
funny.
I'm too worried.
Can I
that
have a
if
Modelo darky? What are you going to
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
don't know. I'm just worried that if
Can I have
say
the
it-
not white one?
Yeah.
I
Can I have the fatherless Modelo, please?
I was too paranoid that after a few beers, me trying to order I can't even
Fumble that one across,
It's too
yeah.
close.
Dude, I know I was cracking G up and I was pissing the warden off when I was out west not long ago because Marshall, for some stupid reason, they've got him in these Spanish classes.
See?
And it's like, uno, dos, tres. You're like, yeah, great. You can count to 100. Go live in the country for 6 months and learn the language. So don't do this bullshit in a book. You know, it's just time spent elsewhere is better. And I just kept asking him, like, what is the, because he's got his colors down. I'm like,
Black.
what is black again? And he's like, negro. And I'm like, yeah, that's right. Got it. And 5 minutes later,
Yeah.
dude, what is white? And he's like,
Blanco.
Blanco. And I was like, what's the one for black again? And she's like, all right, enough. I got to say negro like 10 times. I was like,
How
yeah,
mad
all
was
right.
she? Like, honestly.
No, she's just like, oh my God, my brother-in-law's an asshole. And I'm like, yeah, I get it, but I got to amuse myself.
Sure.
And there's easy ways to do it, you know? And tripping up kids with what they don't know.
Yeah.
is fun as shit.
You know,
it really
that
is.
one's just for us.
Yeah. It really is just
No
for
doubt.
us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It makes it that much better when they have no idea.
Yeah.
Their innocence is still intact.
Yep.
Yeah,
Right,
we
right.
get a good hearty chuckle out of it.
Yeah.
He said negro.
Yep.
And does he know why you're would you laugh when he would say
And he'll
that?
have no
straight
idea.
face as hell.
And he'll never have any idea.
Nope.
Right.
He might in a few years, especially if I
it's-
keep it up. But
yeah, he's not. Well,
if you're
yeah,
asking
when
him when
he's
he's 18.
16. right.
16
Yeah.
asking him,
What's a kid?
He's still taking Spanish, Marshall.
what's black again? I know what you're doing now.
Yeah.
I would hope
Yeah.
so by 16.
Yeah, but for right now he's 8, so
Exactly.
he doesn't know shit. He's kind of an idiot,
Nope.
you know.
Colorblind.
That's how they are. Yeah, we've got you know, you haven't been here in a minute, Isis,
Yeah.
and welcome back. But you've got to be thrilled with the Lions
Dude, so happy.
and thrilled with the Wolverines
Oh, yeah.
taking care of business.
You know what? We talked about this a little bit when I was here, my one little stint about a month ago or so.
Yeah.
And we don't have to get too much into it. I just never I hadn't had a lot of fun with this year's Michigan year, even though it's like it's this great team.
Me
I
either,
never
dude.
like
Yeah, it
jumped
was-
on. It just never seemed exciting to me at all.
There was very little competition throughout
the last
year.
3 weeks of the year was what mattered.
Yeah,
and
and-
going forward.
And I'll admit this, and whatever.
Last 4.
I didn't even.
Yeah.
Dude, I went to bed at halftime of the Big Ten game. I just didn't care the Big Ten championship game.
Yeah.
Because it was Iowa, and my thought process was they're up 10-0, which already really wasn't.
Yeah,
Game
Iowa's
over.
can't
A
even
great
score 10
hap.
points. So
And it probably game over anyway. And I'm just like, if they. And then my thought process was, if they lose, what does it matter anyway?
Yeah.
So I just didn't care. Like, and the only thing that's got me onto the Alabama thing, to be honest, is the fact that even though I didn't care that much before, this whole FSU thing getting not put in there is so stupid to me and so infuriating to me.
Yeah.
What?
that
Because they didn't get in?
yeah, because
As
they
a-
didn't get in.
that should have been a
That-
no-brainer.
And it has nothing to do with me being a Michigan fan. It has nothing to do with that. I would have the same feeling if Michigan was not in the playoff system. And even though I know this isn't going to happen, and I think Michigan might even lose, I wish Michigan would just
You watch
stomp
your
the
fucking
fuck
mouth.
out of them, dude. I
Yeah,
wish
of
they would
course.
stomp the fuck out of them.
Yeah.
Only because of this bullshit that they got in on. I know they're
Well,
probably the better team, but
President-
it's not the point.
Former President Trump has come out
Oh.
and told us now
Oh, boy.
why Florida State didn't get in.
Because
Oh,
of him.
all right.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I was like, I thought it was just a
Did he
committee
post
in a
this on
room.
True Social?
I don't know where he posted it, but or he might have just been giving a speech somewhere. I
What
don't
about
know.
that other one? What was the other one way back in the day? Remember the other one? There wasn't
Twitter?
No, there was a different one he had. Remember the conservative Facebook back in the day? That wasn't True Social. I forget what it was.
Oh, there was something else
Remember
that
there
it was
was
kind of
something
going
else?
to originally, but it wasn't True Social. It was something else that
I
switched
forget.
over.
Sorry. I forget.
No,
Yeah, you're right.
Go ahead.
So he
I actually had the app at some point, but I never actually used it.
Yeah, I've got all of them too, and I'm not even logged into most of them.
Nope.
He claims, Trump that is, claimed that Ron DeSantis was to blame for Florida State being left out.
punishing DeSantis.
That is, God.
Yeah, he made the remarks after the playoff selection committee selected 4 teams. Number 1, Michigan, obviously, which everybody agreed with.
You can't argue that.
Number 2, Washington. 3, Texas. 4, Alabama. Florida State was treated very badly by the committee.
Yeah.
Very badly. They become the first Power 5 team to be left out of a college football playoffs. Really bad lobbying effort. Let's blame DeSanctimonious.
I want him to name a player on the team.
Oh, no, he couldn't do that.
Like, you know what I mean? Could he name a player?
He would name a player on that team, it would take him as long to do that as it would you.
Right, and I don't know a name.
If I said, name one player in the history of Florida State football, could you name one?
Deion Sanders played there, right?
Fuck. Yeah, Deion Sanders. Can you name any more?
I only know that because I heard it on an interview recently on the sports station because they played audio from him talking about it or something.
Yeah,
so that's the only reason I know.
That's all right. But
I had to go back and check the Texas's loss. It was
To
12 Oklahoma early in the season by 4.
yeah. By what?
By 4. Yeah. I couldn't remember what their loss was.
Yeah,
I knew they were a 1-loss team. I couldn't remember who it was to.
A report from ESPN now, of course, if Trump said it, then it can't be true, as if he's serious that it's Ron DeSantis' fault. Yeah. And what would a governor lobbying the committee mean anyways? They'd be like, shut up, little tiny man.
Yeah.
Get out of here. Fucking, what do you have to do this? So a report from ESPN said the decision to exclude Florida State had nothing to do with a lack of any sort of lobbying effort. Committee's decision chose to exclude Florida State came in part due to how they struggled to beat Louisville in the ACC championship game.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, that's what they're saying. The ESPN article is claiming this, including struggling to even get first downs in the game. Oh yeah, but it must have been Bama killing Auburn. That must have been the
Right.
Yeah, the last second Hail Mary bullshit fucking win they pulled off there.
Yeah.
I will give this-
Wait, that came down to a bullshit 31-yard Hail Mary on 4th down.
I will say this.
I
Somebody,
thought
Fourth and
it was a blowout. Huh.
Yeah.
I thought somebody made a really good point, believe it or not, like on the
It's
radio.
a 6-6 Auburn team, by the way.
They were asking about the Florida State quarterback and how good this guy that got hurt is, right? And someone was like, how is he not like almost borderline an absolute shoe for the Heisman if the sense is you take a quarterback out and they're like, yep, can't make the playoffs because their quarterback is gone, you can't even go in the playoffs now. Like, how good? That's fucking crazy.
Even if he was so good, then it's so essential to that team, then they should have lost to Louisville.
Anyway, sorry. But Trump
you know what?
getting on this, oh my God.
I have some personal interest because my brother and my dad have bets.
Yeah.
They put them in months ago for Purdy to win MVP.
Gotcha.
And it pays. I think they each put in $200, and I think it pays $1,800. So they each get $3,600.
Yeah.
And he's the front runner right now. And the argument I'm hearing, because he's literally number one in all the
Categories.
like real
All statistical
quarterback categories. It's not even close, really.
Yeah.
But this idea that he was picked 262 hurts him. I'm like, why? You
Irrelevant.
guys. So what? You people fucked up in your scouting?
Yeah, it's not the highest drafted player.
No. So why would that hurt him? And then people say he's not even the MVP on his own team. That would be Christian McCaffrey. It's like, okay, so tell me this: what position is more important in football, your running back or your quarterback? I don't care how dominant either is.
Yeah.
Like, it's not even close, dude. You saw what happened when everybody was on the field last year in the championship game and you took the quarterback out.
Yep.
Right? Disaster. You could live without Christian McCaffrey. You've got 3 other backs on the roster. Wouldn't be as great.
You're not making a big case for Florida State here, then.
No, well, the only problem I had with the Florida State one is because they had already set precedent with Ohio State a few years earlier.
Yeah.
When they were down to their 3rd string quarterback.
And won it.
Yeah.
Right.
Cardale Jones, I believe it was. So that was like, wait a minute, you can't act like that's the reason why now.
Yeah.
When the same committee just 3, 4, 5 years ago, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Totally.
They say you couldn't put Alabama in without putting Texas in because Texas beat Alabama, but you absolutely could put Texas in without putting Alabama in.
Yeah.
without
We
question.
needed an SEC team. That's all it is.
It 100%.
That's all it is.
They're living on their lore. Whether it was Georgia or Alabama, it's like, yeah, these have been the staples of the
Yeah.
creme de la creme.
Well, then make it the Big Four.
right.
Just put the conference winners from the Big Four in there instead of
Right.
the Power Four instead of the
Well,
Power
next
Five.
year we get 12. And
12, yeah.
that's all it
Next-
is.
Don't even get me started.
Yeah, next year it expands to 12, though.
Yeah.
So you're right. So this won't be an issue. The
And
report.
like I love it too. By the way, I understand it. We all know it's fucking basically professional sports. I get it, or semi-professional. But you do have to remember that technically they're college athletes. This is I'm
Hilarious.
just saying, technically these are student.
Yeah, but
athletes.
why do you even play that game? They're
no.
so not student athletes.
But I'm saying.
But these teams would be in bowl games anyway.
But it's a collegiate thing, and you're like, oh, your quarterback's out, can't make the playoffs. Anyway, sorry.
No, it's
The report said that the longer the voting went on, the more clear it became that Florida State would end up at number 5, even though things got heated in the room.
Mm-hmm.
All of us had the emotional tie, like, holy shit, this is really going to suck to do this. One committee member told
You don't have to do
ESPN.
it.
We talked about that over and over. We just kept coming back to, are they good enough with what they have to win a national
That shouldn't
championship? That's a different take than we've ever heard before.
But that's exactly which should not
That
be
shouldn't fucking matter.
right.
well,
Well,
I don't
think it
know.
should fucking
Like,
well, hold on a second. Let's just say there was any team, irrelevant, doesn't matter. Let's say Oregon this year, okay? They start, Bo Nix gets hurt preseason, misses the first 2 games, they lose the first 2 games. And they come out and they kick the piss out of everybody
Yeah,
else.
yeah.
And they're the best team in the country with Bo Nix.
Yeah.
But they're a 2-loss team. So do you put them in because they're the best team? They have the best chance of winning it, even though they're
do.
No, but you can't.
Sort of.
But you can't.
well,
Here's if they weren't undefeated,
but if it was
they weren't a
truly
Power
about
5
trying to
team.
find the 4 best teams, which is that the goal for you guys, or is it just like
It is and it isn't. I think it's too convoluted to actually say who the best 4 teams are.
Well, and to me, again, this
Because-
isn't the NFL. They have a Power 5 conference. They
Right.
were undefeated, and they won their goddamn conference.
They did everything they were supposed to
Yeah.
do to be in there.
yeah?
If
and
this was Boise
Then you
or
should have
some
just
shit,
made it a 5-team playoff, and only the conference champions go, and then the top 1 seed gets a bye week. I mean, what else could you do?
I don't know.
Because if you've only got 4 slots and you've got 5, Power
Yeah, but
5
even I mean, it's there is no right answer. I'm not going to pretend that I have the answer because well, I mean, it could
No, I know.
absolutely be like Michigan and Ohio State, Alabama and Georgia. It could absolutely be that the top 2 teams come out of the same conference.
Yeah.
The number 1, number 2 team in the country could absolutely be
Yeah.
a 1-loss team,
Yeah.
which you see. Georgia lost to Alabama. Alabama
we've
lost
seen
to
that a
Texas.
lot in the NFL.
Ohio State lost to Michigan. We don't know that Ohio State's not the second best team in the country.
Yeah.
They're
Right.
not, but
Right.
you don't know that.
Right.
Because they lost, their 1 loss, and you could put the argument to them more than anybody
way
because
more
their
impressive.
1 loss is to the number 1 team in the country in
Yeah,
the
that's
last
true.
week of the season.
That's
Yeah.
true.
So you could make the argument
which is
that
a
they're
way
the best.
stronger argument than
Right.
than Alabama has for
Exactly.
sure.
They were in this all
Alabama
along.
got miracled in against Auburn.
Yeah.
And then, beat Georgia. Whatever.
Right.
You play that game 10 times.
Georgia
they're
hasn't
each gonna
lost a
win
game,
5.
lost 1 game in 3 fucking
years.
years. It's been,
No, you're
and now all
right.
of a sudden they're not even qualified to be in the conversation. It's
No, you're right.
It's
That's a good
insulting,
point.
is what it is, really.
They couldn't do it.
So coming back to this, are they good enough with what they have to win a national championship? And it just kept coming back to we didn't think they could. People may not believe it, but we don't say, oh gosh.
Oh, don't let them fucking prove it on the field, though.
If we vote this way, the SEC is going to be left out. That never came up ever. We
bullshit.
literally look at teams, put them up against each other, and say, who did they beat? Who did they not beat? Who have they beaten on the road? What's their strength of schedule? Look at that matrix and all that data.
Okay, so Ohio State's 1 loss to
Yeah,
Number one
that's
seed- number one
bullshit
team in the
right
country.
there.
to in Michigan on the road.
Yeah, by 6 points.
Yeah, and beat Penn State. So it's fraudulent. They can say
And what
it all
else did they have
want.
this year? Did they have a Notre Dame win or a,
They had somebody early.
I thought they did too.
They had a big win early. I think I
Yeah,
can't remember
don't
who
know,
it was.
and I
but-
can't pretend that I paid enough attention.
and I can't pretend that I don't just
No.
glow
And
with pride that Ohio
the-
State's not in.
Yeah.
The reality
You
is
know?
that you could make an argument almost any which way for any of those teams. You could
agree,
argue
yeah.
for, but in my opinion, you could argue Alabama, Georgia, Texas, Ohio State as the 4th team in.
Washington.
No,
that what you're saying?
those 4 teams as being the 4th team in.
Yeah.
But 100% Florida State deserves to be in there. They just do. They just do. They did what they did. It's not their fault somebody got hurt. They went out. They were on their third string quarterback and still won. Did they struggle? Yeah. Okay, but their second string quarterback is coming back.
Yeah.
He's not out for the year like Travis.
Well, if you put it in the context of like the NFL, those injuries, the injury to Purdy last year in the NFC Championship game happened 3 plays into that game, right? It was over right then.
Yeah.
It was over. Now, had that happened,
and took their next quarterback out too.
Which was their 4th string quarterback, right? It's not like they went from a first to a second string.
Yeah, no, this was
they
already
went from
their
third
third
to 4th.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind. So had that scenario played out the week before that game, so the divisional round, and with 3 plays left in the game, okay, Purdy blows his UC joint or whatever out, and now he's gone, and you're down to the 4th string quarterback. You wouldn't like it very much if the NFL went, well, you know, we don't
but it doesn't matter.
We don't think this team can do it.
Yeah.
Dallas makes better sense because they don't have their quarterback. They're down to their 4th string.
But it doesn't happen in the NFL. That's the problem with the NCAA.
I know. That's the point.
And I don't know how you make that work. And trust me, a 12-team playoff is not the answer to finding the best team.
I still don't know why you don't agree with that. Like why so many people don't like that format. To me, it's just kind of like March Madness.
It is.
You know?
And, okay, but so do you – and March Madness is a little different, but –
It's a lot different because of the violence of the sport. I get it.
No, but it doesn't guarantee you in any more likelihood that you're going to get the best team to win it. Does anybody think that the number 12 team is the best team in the country?
No.
But they could go through and win it.
Right.
Yeah.
Does that make –
Which is awesome, too.
Does that – okay, but does that make them the best team? They won it. They got in. I mean, it's like the playoffs in the NFL. I get it.
No, but the difference would be they said what their best teams were. We ranked them as
Were the
ones.
Giants the best team in the NFL when they beat the Patriots?
No, they barely got in as a wild
Exactly
card.
right. And great, they did it. It's a great story, but that doesn't mean they're the best team in the.
They did declare who the best were in the country when they put the brackets together and they go, these 4 teams are the ones. So the 12s, they're given a shot, and they give them 62 teams a shot. I like that, and then you have this wild. That's why March Madness is as popular as it is. I don't know what they should have done.
The answer
it
is.
Comes down to
So just like when
do you believe that it's about finding the 4 best teams, period, on earth? Well, then you rule out 99% of the league, period. You just do. Doesn't matter what they did on the field. It's like, this team has more 5-star recruits than anybody else. They're number 1. This team has mostly 5-star recruits and 4-star recruits. They're number 2. I mean, you could play that game and be like, technically on paper, this is the best team ever assembled.
Yeah. No, there's a season.
That's not the way it goes.
That plays out.
Which bolsters your argument. Hey, the season played out.
Yeah.
Florida State handled every task in front of them.
Yep. They played every game they were given. The schedule that they had to play, they won every game.
Yeah.
It's so fraudulent
But
to me.
do you think at all, because part of me goes, okay, if you're the committee, you're banking on these games being the best possible that they can be. They don't want a 56-0 blowout. And if they look at it and they go, shit, Florida State probably deserves, they did
Michigan
everything.
shouldn't have lost to TCU last year. Everyone said Michigan was maybe not going to crush TCU, but it was not supposed to be a loss.
Well, close game.
All.
But that's not my point, though. The point is, if they're looking at it and going, look, Florida State barely beat Louisville with this second-string quarterback. This is a no-brainer if their number 1 is in there, but he's not, and he's not going to be back. And we have say over this. Unlike the NFL, unlike other leagues, we actually do have some input. Are we sure that while they won 12, 13 games, whatever it was, this is not the same team it was even 3 weeks ago? And so based on that, you can understand the argument.
Even using last year's argument, that TCU beating Michigan, okay? They were not a better team. And they were not qualified to be in the championship game, and it showed.
Right.
They got their ass handed to them. I'm not saying Michigan would have won, but I promise you would have been a better game, better matchup for that. So that was even in the top 4. The Michigan knocked out and did not give them the best matchup that they wanted in the championship game, which is what you're going for. Now you expound that to 12 teams to where the best teams, 2 or 3 of the best teams could possibly get knocked out because on any given Saturday, any team can win.
Yeah.
It's just...
I think what I would have done, for whatever...
To have a team step up, beat a number one team,
Yeah.
just like you see in March Madness, these, the 15-2s, they come in and then go out and get curb stomped the next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily, it makes for a good story, but it's not necessarily what's best for the tournament.
No.
And that's what I'm afraid happens when you get these 12 teams in there. Now, is it going to happen all the time? Am I worried that this is going to be just fraudulent all the time? No. But it only has to happen once or twice for it to be a problem.
Yeah, unless you look at it like we do March Madness, where anytime a 15 defeats a 2, it's the best story of the week. It's awesome.
Yep, that
you know what I
week.
mean? Like,
but is that what's best for the
but
tournament to have that team knocked out?
But that underdog
Yeah.
nature is fucking awesome. And the rest of the teams that were fearing playing that 2 seed that was dominant all season and lost a fucking no-name school.
Yeah.
Like, that's awesome. I love that aspect.
And if the
of March
15
Madness.
makes a run and shows that they're a legitimate team, then it's a great story.
And
I'm
they all
for
run
it.
out of gas, but if they win 2 in the tournament, that's amazing.
Okay, but
Good for them.
is that when you get down into the Sweet 16 and in the Grade 8 and the Final Four, is that necessarily what's
love
best?
It. I love it when there's an 8 in there or a 10 in there. I love that.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Is that are they one of the best teams in college basketball?
I think that yeah, if you're in that tournament's different for some reason.
It is.
I get it.
Because it's one game. That's all it takes is because you can knock out a much
One
better
shining
team.
moment, Troy.
You can play it.
right. Jesus.
Well, yeah, but you could play that game 10 times
And they'd lose it 9
and they'd
of them.
lose it 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
So the one time they get to beat it,
Well, you better not
flips it
overlook them then.
Flips it onto their head.
I think
Yeah.
what I would do, by the way, for whatever it's
Then
worth,
why not make it a 24 team?
I would do.
I'd have the top 20 all play in fucking tournaments.
I'd have them all play. All 160 teams.
There you
Just
go.
start a tournament from fucking the week 1.
Just do March Madness.
Single
So
elimination.
round
You go
single
out, you lose the
elimination.
first week, that's
You're
it. Your
done.
season's over. You're done.
done.
Sudden death.
I would personally, for what it's worth, I'd go with 8. The 5, Power 5, every conference champion you're in, 3 at large. I think 8 would be better than 4, but and also
And
better.
then they
So I
could
get what
they
you're saying
could
with
come
12.
around to that too. They could do 12
I
for a
think
few
I
years.
think
and
12
then-
is too much. I know what you're saying, but I would do 8.
I
whatever
think
it's
12 is kind of irrelevant. Those 4 teams are going to wash out quick. Maybe not immediately, to your point.
Yeah. But the problem is that they maybe not immediately, then they take out potentially a much better team.
Yeah. Well, a much better.
It's
team
funny 'cause
should have
remember, like-
showed up then.
Remember when we did
Tell that to your Niners and the Browns. Okay? But that's just it.
But that's why they play. I mean, that's part of the fun too. Is
Mm-hmm.
getting fucking shock the world. I mean, it's great. That stuff's great.
Okay.
I just remember it feels like when before we even had the beat. Remember there was the BCS and there was this and all this shit or whatever.
Yeah.
It was like if we just have one at least a game to be the championship,
Yeah.
and then so we had the BCS. Then we did 4. Now we need more.
Yeah.
This isn't enough.
You know what
This
though?
isn't
You
enough.
do get to a point like 4. You can always make an argument for 5 and 6, and
Yeah.
a legit one.
Sure.
When you start getting to 8, 10, 12, like
double digits.
no one gives a shit.
Purdue was,
Yeah.
Iowa, same fucking thing.
Yeah. Right.
What were they, 16?
Yeah, 17, something like
wherever
that.
they were ranked, whatever.
And no
Okay.
one gives a shit. It's
No.
like, oh my God, they didn't make it in the top 12. Are you out of your mind? Like, yeah, that school might be bummed, but no one else cares.
Yeah.
But it's situations like this.
And they
you're trying
got
to
the
avoid.
record of being on the other side, the
Yeah.
shit side of the Big Ten.
Right.
So
right.
it's.
But it's situations like this that you're trying to avoid where everybody agrees Florida State got fucked. They just
wholeheartedly, which is, I mean, when
and
everybody
that's-
agrees,
Yeah.
it's a problem.
And the problem, the biggest problem I have is to go like, well, we don't know because of this loss and blah. They barely beat so and so. It's like,
But they didn't do that.
you're saying that with a straight face after we watched Auburn basically beat Bama.
Yeah.
Period. Miracle. I mean, I'm sorry. The Hail Mary is a fucking miracle.
And the thing
play.
is, if Alabama had lost that game, they still would have been in the AC or the SEC championship game.
Yeah.
What if they had lost that game to Auburn but beat Georgia?
nah, they wouldn't have a
But I'm
chance.
just
They'd be a 2-loss team. Georgia would still probably.
and would Georgia
it's-
be in?
Yeah.
Would Georgia be in then?
No,
It's a weird.
no.
It's a weird deal.
Anyway,
I saw.
that's a big what if.
What's the mole? Drew Brees. Came out fucking speech he came out with to the BCS committee or
Oh, yeah?
whatever.
I didn't-
Totally serious, saying that they should have had Alabama and Florida State have a play-in game.
Yeah, I saw that.
But wait, you can't. Okay, so fuck Ohio State, fuck Georgia,
Georgia,
fuck,
right,
you know what I
right,
mean?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
they're not in the consideration. Just It's stupid.
Yeah, it's stupid.
And they're going to play one more game, and then they still.
Then they have to play. Yeah.
The stupidest thing I've
and
ever heard.
Alabama now has
and
to
he was
play
totally
another
serious
game
about
to
it.
play Michigan.
Right? For the most part, it was like, yeah, more football, yeah.
Sure.
But that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
No,
yeah,
that's
it
ridiculous.
is
Playing
ridiculous, which
game.
is why it's laughed off. I found this interesting. Dave Portnoy, apparently he retires from gambling quite a bit.
Okay.
Like he
don't
loses
know.
a huge bet, and then he's like, I'm done, I'm retired. He's coming out of retirement.
Who is this?
To
I don't know
Dave
who that-
Portnoy.
I don't know who that is.
Prez?
Barstool Sports.
Sports.
Oh, the fucking
pizza, one bite.
Yes,
guy.
I didn't. You know what? I just didn't. I don't. Yep. I know
Well,
who
he
is.
went to Michigan.
Yeah.
Big
Big
Michigan
Oh
guy.
yeah. It doesn't.
Which is kind of an interesting story, too. I heard him talking about how he got into Michigan.
Yeah.
Because he didn't really deserve to get into Michigan. And but he had
White privilege.
no. I think his sister was going there or something. Was like, yeah, they're desperate for students in the nursing program, and
Like
he's
they just need.
I haven't declared a major or anything. I don't know what I'm going to do, and so he entered into their nurses program,
changed.
and then was just like changed as soon as he got in there.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, and so
my
that's
God,
how he
that's
got into
hilarious.
Michigan. Yeah,
Oh, he could have been a Merce.
yeah, could have been. So he's putting $1 million on the Wolverines to beat Bama. He said FSU got screwed. Feed me, Bama. Michigan likely would have been favored by at least 2 scores against Florida State.
Yeah.
Florida State is a 14-point dog to Georgia in the Orange Bowl. Dave says, I like the Crimson Tide. I like their fans, hospitality, Roll Tide Willie. I'm friends with Nick Saban's daughter, Kristen. Means he banged her, right?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Knowing everything we know about
Choked her a little bit.
Yeah, choked her, gave her some rug burns on her knees. Absolutely. Yeah, sure, you're friends with Nick's daughter, Kristen.
Right, like I watched the video that you're talking about, so it is funny that you're right. He throws that in there, like
Yeah, it's like,
like
okay.
there's really no other reason I feel like to throw that in there.
I like all of it, but we're going to have to take it out on you. We're going to have to curb stomp you. Michigan's coming.
It's not happening.
We're going to have to kill the SEC once and for all.
It would be.
I would
fantastic.
love it. I would love it. It's not happening.
Could happen.
Yeah.
They could win. I don't think that's gonna. They're gonna curb stop.
I got a
them.
preseason bet. Michigan wins it all.
Really?
That they were the national
much-
Pretty
champions.
good
How much
odds
for?
for that? Or
I don't remember the numbers. I mean, nothing. I almost no bet I ever put down is more than $20. I think I
Oh,
put.
no,
I
but-
think I put 10 on them.
Well, even that bet, even with Michigan,
And even
being
that, I don't
favored,
think
bet
that
it's
pay. That might pay.
they
100.
were probably
They were top
five
five,
favorites.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're not. They weren't like super long odds or
Yeah.
anything. But.
So Michigan win outright right now. $1 million bet on FanDuel pays out $847,500.
Oh,
So because
wow.
Michigan's a 1.5 point favorite. in
but just
that
to
one.
win outright,
Yep.
they're 1 point. That doesn't seem right.
Michigan is
So-
open as a short favorite, 1.5 point favorite on FanDuel's sports book. $1 million bet on FanDuel.
Oh, $1 million
for
bet.
Michigan.
I had 100,000 in my head.
No,
Yeah,
$1 million pays out $847.
Why isn't he?
yeah.
Doesn't Barstool have their own gambling thing? I thought they had a gambling app. They don't.
Yeah, they still do. They have a sports book.
Wait, did they? Does they
or is that
still
part
own
of
it, or-
Penn?
Or maybe he can't make a bet
Is that
on his
part
own
of
thing.
ESPN?
Maybe,
I was
he
gonna-
can't through his own thing. I'm
I
not
was-
sure how
Okay,
they have
never
to
mind.
do
I was
it.
just thinking like it's odd that he's
But
talking about
there was
FanDuel.
something with Penn and what they did because then Penn went to the ESPN
Oh,
bet.
okay,
and
okay,
Yeah.
I think Barstool still has their sports book, but I haven't
Yeah.
put anything through them, so I can't say. For
Gotcha.
sure.
He's had some. He claims he claims to have gotten half a quarter out of a $70,000 bet on the Bengals to win the Super Bowl and $100,000 against the Ravens. He lost on the Bengals in the wake of Joe Burrow's season-ending wrist injury.
Yeah, he was talking about.
So-
he was talking about filing a lawsuit on them not
Oh,
disclosing
yeah.
the injury, not
Yes.
being on the injury report.
I don't blame him for that.
Well, I don't
that's,
either.
That's kind of bullshit. When you
But
saw that
it's
video
one thing if-
pregame of his wrist taped up like
It's
that.
one thing if you are talking about a bet for that game. He had a bet that they were going to win the Super Bowl.
Right.
So yeah, you lose me a little bit on that argument.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't out for the year. He had something. He was on the injury report that week, and he still played,
Yeah.
and then got knocked out.
Yeah.
But I guess it's true that maybe you don't. I don't know when he made the bet compared to all that, but if it would have been specifically on that game,
Yeah.
then yeah, I think you'd have a much better case.
Yeah.
For them not disclosing that injury and putting him on the injury report,
Right.
and fucking with your money.
Yeah, if it was that game, for sure you would. By the way, Dave will be just fine. His net worth is $100 million.
I was actually serious.
Is
I
that
was
it?
curious
I
how
would
much
have thought a
he
little
had.
more than that, to be honest
Yeah,
with you.
yeah. 100 million is what they
Damn,
claim.
dude.
Still pretty good.
I was thinking 400 million because I know that's what he sold Barstool for at one point and then bought back for $1.
Yeah.
So they've got his net worth at 100 million. So,
Right on.
either way, he can afford to lose a $70,000 bet. It ain't gonna fucking hurt him too much.
Nope. Let's hope he doesn't lose $1 million bet, though.
Yeah. Probably could be a tax write-off, though, honestly.
If it's just outright, they're a 1.5 point favorite, man. One of those things where if they win by one.
Yeah.
One of those games.
Right.
But it sounds like he's got it just straight up.
Yeah.
So it only pays $847, but then it's just like, hey, just win.
Just win, baby. The money line. That's what that is. Just straight up have to win.
Former Fox News staffer has filed a lawsuit against the network and Tucker Carlson's executive producer for sexual assault, and alleged the network prevented him from reporting it. I love how they got to include Tucker Carlson's name there.
Yeah,
as
just
one of
to throw.
Tucker's. Yeah, you can't just say a Fox News producer.
No,
it's got to be Tucker
Yes,
Carlson.
exactly. Produced probably multiple shows.
Yeah, which I get. I understand. I don't think
that's the clickbait.
Yeah, exactly. It's like Tucker Carlson's executive producer.
Did Tucker
what?
Carlson know? Was he complicit in these
Was he
actions?
filming it?
Was he filming?
The lawsuit claimed that Andrew Delancey, former regional producer with Fox News Edge, was sexually assaulted by Tucker's senior executive producer, Justin Wells. At the time of the assault, Wells was a producer for Greta Van Sustren's On the Record.
Oh, that was Greta Van Fleet.
No, Sustren's been off the air there for years. So she's got that goofy face. Yeah, but this goes back 2016. He then helped Carlson launch his primetime show, became his right-hand man when he was promoted to senior executive producer and VP until Carlson got fired in April. He now works on his Twitter show.
Oh, okay.
So he's fine. So Delancey alleges Wells, now Wells being the producer, and Delancey being a younger, trying to make his way.
The assaultee.
The assaultee. They first made contact with him. He alleged Wells first made contact with him in 2007 through a Facebook group for Fox News employees when Delancey was working at Fox 13 Tampa Bay and Wells was a producer at Fox 5 New York City. So you're getting the gist of here. These are regional.
Yeah.
These are not the national, ones. It's like Fox 2 here in Detroit would be on that string as well. Wells told Delancey that he had caught his eye. Oh, boy.
Nice.
Oh, shooting a shot? Okay.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, I got no problem with that.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with going,
That's the whole point of
gross.
social media.
Put your fucking gun back in the holster, sir.
Right.
Gross. You can say that,
Better
too.
hope he swings that way, but all right.
Yeah.
I think the gaydar probably lets you know.
Yep. So he began sending messages to show he knew how powerful people and encouraged Delancey to move to New York.
Oh.
One of those swinging dicks. Yeah, I know powerful people up here in New York.
Yeah.
Why don't you get up to the Big Apple and look at us?
Yeah.
The
Weinstein effect.
It must be such a weird place to be in when you've reached a level that in your mind you're willing to tell somebody, I know powerful
kind of a
people.
big deal around here.
Move up to New York City, huh?
Hell yeah.
Well, we can hook you up. We can get you something.
In September of 2008, Delancey began his employment at Fox News in New York City. Where
Expensive here.
And let's tell you what your salary is now.
And by the way,
$12,000 a year.
I would say I'd love
Just
to
move in with me.
I'd love to know the whole thing now. Like I really legit would love to have all these because whatever was said, this guy, powerful people, whether he's gay or not, whatever was going on though.
Yeah, see what these responses
it was enough
were.
that he moved to New York, and now he's giving him shit. So I just love to see what those all were. I'd be so interested.
I know. He claimed Wells connected him to an interview at a different network and put in a good word for him around Fox.
Moved up to New York for
held up his end of the bargain.
Yeah, so
As far as I'm concerned.
He's like, well, Fox isn't paying you enough. You can't live in the Big Apple. Well, there's some other networks around. Maybe they'd give you more money.
Just for an interview. Why wouldn't you at least have a...
No, he got the job.
Oh, got the job.
He got
Yeah,
the job,
yeah.
Okay. And then
But he wasn't making enough.
Shortly
Gotcha.
realized I'm not making enough money to make this all work.
Yeah.
Wells was not reserved about reminding Mr. Delancey that he held higher status at the network and could, in turn, affect his career trajectory. In other words, you're going to sit on that dick,
right.
or you ain't moving up the corporate ladder.
You want to go up, you got to go down.
Exactly. The assault
Works on
happened.
a lot of levels there.
The assault happened 1 month after Delancey started at Fox News when he was meeting up with Wells to go out with coworkers for a drink. Oh, boy.
So it all starts.
Always.
I've never worked...
Always starts at a cocktail after
Yep.
work.
I know it's going to shock you guys, but I've never worked in a corporate gig. But
No,
I have a
it's
feeling.
shocking.
I feel like at this point in society, where we are, no, maybe 50 years ago, whatever. Where we're at now, I think cocktails after work is not a good thing for almost anybody.
No.
I would say, unless you're like,
It's not ideal.
Yeah.
But, it was the play forever.
I get it.
I mean,
They're
let's be honest.
all taking the subway home and shit. Nobody drives in New York.
I just feel like,
True.
but this is in this place we're at in 2023. I think cocktails after work maybe don't do it anymore. Like I
Well,
would say,
you know, how you gonna get some if you don't
Right.
get them cocktails in them? Get
Gotta
them
move up.
a little loosened up.
You gotta find other. There's bars everywhere else. There's a lot of other drunk people
So,
take advantage of.
It's your
There-
work family, E.
so
You
he's
wouldn't
going.
go out to drinks with us after work?
Yeah, I don't think you guys are gonna go down on my unkempt dick, though. You know
Yeah,
what I
that's
mean?
true.
That is,
Probably
that is
not.
a guarantee.
Probably not.
So,
So they're going out for this drink with coworkers. Beforehand, Wells invited him inside his apartment for a quick cocktail before going out.
of course, pregame.
But you know, honestly, Isis, I invited you to come Friday,
Right.
To the
That's a good
the
point.
thing, and I'm
Yeah.
like, well, you can meet over here. We can roll together,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yep.
I'm not trying to fondle your cock. Like that can
That's a
happen.
good- that is a kind of. You know what's funny is like
He is
it's
a little
not
desperate these days,
It's
though.
Yeah,
not
it's been a minute.
exactly the same situation, but it kind of is.
Sort of is.
It's not that far off.
I mean,
You're
if I
right.
was trying
Yeah.
to get your dick in my mouth, that'd be.
What
I
if
mean,
I-
that would probably still be my move.
Well,
No, you're right.
I
What-
don't think that your relationship started with you messaging him saying, "You caught my eye."
Yeah, that's true.
That's true.
So,
yeah.
But you know what? It did start with me messaging him, dude, I'll do anything. What if the
Yeah,
message
that's
back
true,
had
right?
come?
Dude,
like-
what if the
say
reply
anything.
back then? What if the reply back then was like, "Look, we are looking for an intern, but I got to be honest with you, E, you're gonna have to suck a dick to get in the door."
You know what's funny?
You would have.
I probably would have.
I know.
Or I would have like. I don't
Okay,
know.
but you got to film it.
Yeah, I should have done that and got him down to the point where he was on his knees,
All
with his
ready
mouth
to do
open,
it, just like throwing up in
just
his
stick
mouth.
it in already, and just be like, "Get up, you fucking
Right.
idiot! I don't want your."
All right,
dick in
close
my
your
mouth."
eyes. Click.
I actually don't know. If you, I mean, it would. I think it's.
I think you would have.
I think that I would have certainly, like, if it was like,
Contemplated it.
yeah, like, come over. You know, hey,
Yeah.
you know, I usually,
Go
swing
through
by
the
my
interview
house,
process, get
actually.
the call back.
Yeah.
All right. Well, here's the deal. You can have the job, but
And this is kind of a big but.
Right.
I do know someone in the industry who was at a minimum
little casting couch.
was blowing his male boss.
Okay.
Yeah. The
Nice.
dude I know was blowing his male
I
boss.
will be asking you afterwards about that. But
And it's a crazy story. But
Now, was this
and I
for a
can't-
job or for pleasure? Just wanted to be blowing the boss.
I don't know 100%, but
Okay.
there's people involved.
'Cause sometimes
People
it's
around
just-
here would know. Let's
Yeah,
just
yeah,
say
yeah,
that.
Guys just want to suck a dick, I guess.
Yeah.
So.
I would tell you
Doesn't
that,
mean if it was like under, threat of losing your job.
Yeah.
And by the way, just real quick, honestly, not to go back to that, not to just suggest that I would suck a dick, but like really where I was back then, dude. I mean, I was living in my friend's basement, and I
Yeah.
had no hope.
Yeah,
like,
there was no way you'd take sucking a dick off the table.
I
in
probably
that
wouldn't have.
situation.
I probably
yeah.
wouldn't have. I will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Curious
Had I
to how
known, I
far
would
that
have
could have
pranked
gone.
you. Yeah, I would have liked to have,
You lost your turn now.
I mean, at least
I
stood
don't-
there with a carrot in my hand and blindfolded him and just watched him.
Well,
you know,
I actually had,
Just a
I had
squirt bottle.
stick one of those mayo squirt bottles and just lasso his face with it. I didn't do that though.
No, I
you
give you
can't get
credit
upset
for
with
that.
me. I
No,
never
no.
did that to
I
anybody.
know. Hindsight is
Yeah.
2020, though.
I don't think it was
Even better, have him do it and then be like, okay, well, so you can have the job, but
Yeah.
now I need you to.
Dude, I can honestly go on record and say I almost never told someone I'd give them a job if they suck my dick.
Almost
never. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I can honestly say that. I'm very proud of
Good.
that.
Good.
What is
Very
almost
proud
a 1 out of 100?
It doesn't matter, and I don't have the
What
perfect
is-
memory
what
going
is your
back.
Yeah,
definition?
exactly.
Time,
We
but,
didn't
you
keep
know,
stats.
We
back
didn't
said
keep
then.
almost.
stats. It was just not out of the ordinary.
I mean, almost
back
never.
then.
Does
Almost
almost
never.
never. 25% or higher?
Almost never.
okay.
I mean, take with that what you will, but almost never.
But that means
very rare.
very okay.
In fact, very rare.
Are you offended that you didn't get that offer?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, I was kind of, I was better looking back then.
He
too, I
did
think.
say that if he had to screw anyone at the Drew and Mike show, it would have been me.
He did win the tournament.
We had a tournament, yeah.
All right.
And I won it out. I couldn't believe it. I was shocked. I'm proud. Made my heart
No, is this
swell
who
a
you'd
little bit.
bang or be banged by? Was there a differentiation?
I don't even remember.
Well, I
that.
wouldn't let him bang me. So
Well, I'm just curious of
yeah,
what the
it would've been
what,
him.
I guess it would have.
what the breakdown.
and I would
was.
have been killing it too. I'd have fucking
Murdered.
murdered.
Yeah.
I guess it would have
Absolute
been
murder.
being banged. I guess.
Okay.
Wells, so
So that probably just means you have the smallest dick.
who? Me?
Oh no! I think it was for me to have sex with. That's what you're right. No, my bad. I think it would. I assumed it would have been like if I was gonna fuck somebody, who
Yeah.
would I have sex?
Yeah.
with?
Well,
He obviously chose me.
Trudy was off the table.
I assumed she was out of the.
Yeah.
I don't think.
No, probably
In a
not.
shocking upset in the first round, Trudy goes down.
I assumed she wasn't in the tournament. Whatever I think of her attractiveness, she would have won. Being
Clearly.
that she's a female.
Yes.
Yeah, you
I
would
mean-
hope.
No
You would
doubt.
hope. I don't remember taking her out of the running though. So
Yeah.
I mean, maybe,
But I can definitely see where between Drew, Mike, you, and Mark,
yeah. Yeah.
You're going to win that 10 out of 10.
The frosted tips and shit too.
Yeah.
I think.
No.
Yeah, I think so.
No, I didn't have frosted
I
tips.
think so.
I used to bleach my hair sometimes.
Maybe
but
you had bleached
just
hair.
frosted-
Bleached
frosted
hair.
tips is
Okay,
a little
maybe bleached
I
hair.
mean, maybe in 1990, but I don't
Okay,
think
well,
anytime
I
after
thought,
that.
well, you had the colored hair, maybe.
Go to the
then.
tape.
Yeah. I don't. People ask me if I'm doing that now. And I'm like, no,
I don't
You think I'm
see
getting
that.
my fucking hair? Like, really? And you think I'd let it do this?
Yeah.
Like, come on, relax. So he invites him inside the apartment for a quick cocktail before
course.
going out.
Yeah.
Wells then aggressively, and I mean aggressively, threw Mr. Delancey onto his bed where he violently forced his tongue into Delancey's mouth.
Oh, boy.
How do you
shot his shot.
violently toss? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, is there anything wrong with
Wouldn't
that? Can you throw someone down in the bed and violently throw your tongue in their mouth? If they say, "Whoa, I'm not into this," you go, "Oh, my bad."
Shit.
I thought you were."
Misread that room. My
Yeah.
fault.
What's
I thought
the
you were into
guy's
it.
name again? I'm just curious. The guy that would be the producer guy.
Wells.
full
It
name?
is Justin Wells.
Checking him
You
out.
see if he's hot enough.
Well, I just
See how little he is? How you
I'd
get
like to see
manhandled by
Delancey.
another dude?
Yeah, I'd like to see Mr. Delancey because he's the one that was sought after.
Yeah.
Delancey was
Right.
the
Got to
looker.
be the looker.
Wells can be a pile of shit for all we care.
Yeah.
But Delancey was the prize.
Right.
You know, how do we
so
get
you
him
get thrown
to be
onto the bed and then
aggressively thrown on the
aggressively
bed.
and violently
Yeah.
tongue lashed. And you get your mouth raised.
And I would say again, I would love to freaking
What happens at that point?
Well, I'll tell you.
in these
Wells-
situations that you always talk about. I legit wish we had. Can you imagine having film of this? Like when you're sitting here breaking down what is aggressive, like legit, this dude just walks in.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I'm gonna get drinks with this guy.
Yeah.
We're going out to drinks, and then when he pushes him on a couch on a bed,
And
you know,
let's be honest, one man's aggressive is another man's like soft move.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Violent. Who's to say what's
is another
violent?
man's passionate?
Yeah. Well, who's to say what a violent kiss
Yeah.
looks like?
Sure.
You know, if you start, mouth fucking me with your tongue violently, I mean, like, let's get some
Yeah.
ground rules. What's your definition of violent?
Right? Who's going to be turned on by that?
Yeah.
We've all kissed that chick.
This is the producer.
Jesus Christ, slow
take
down.
fucking relax.
That's the producer for whatever it's
That's
worth.
Justin Wells.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So you don't know how to spell Delancey, so this is
I
gonna be
mean,
a
Google
problem.
can fucking do it for me. I'm
Okay.
sure. What's the first name?
It was shit. Where was it?
It might even be in an article I just found.
Andrew Delancey.
Okay, I'll try.
Okay.
Yeah. He's not terrible. If you had to be forced mouth fucked by someone, you know.
Sure. I mean, not my
could
first
be.
choice.
Not my first choice either. But he looks soft and not terribly intimidating.
why do we have a not secure thing up there all of a sudden? What's going on? Where you at,
up?
E?
What-
See that?
I have no idea. I'm not.
He's on the dark web somewhere.
I know, right? What just
All right.
happened?
So you asked what happened next.
yeah, I do want to know.
Wells quickly. So again, quickly. One man's quickly is another man's taking his time.
Sure.
You know? So Wells quickly begins unbuttoning and trying to rip off Delancey's jeans.
Okay.
As the sexual assault progressed. Simultaneously, Wells aggressively grabbed Delancey's crumb, okay, really got in and causing him severe pain.
Okay.
Anytime someone says that, I know these are terms for the lawsuit.
So simultaneously undoing the belt and
Grabbing the crumb.
grabbing the cock and balls.
Got right in there with on top of that crumb,
Okay.
and got a hold of it, and he caused serious pain and
All right.
suffering.
Well,
which
I mean, a glancing blow can cause serious pain. So
Yeah,
a,
but-
a full handful can really take you down.
causing severe pain is something they put in the lawsuit
Yes,
to move
of course.
forward.
Oh, of
you know,
course,
where it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
cause severe pain and trauma. I've been having night terrors ever since. I'm in counseling. Like all of that shit is just piled on. Like
Yeah.
someone grabs your cock and balls. And
I
you're
can
never
see
able to
I can see
recover.
being caught off guard, thrown to the bed. Right? You maybe
Really?
don't. Well, I mean, you're walking. You're
if you're
standing
caught
by.
off guard,
yeah,
yeah.
you're standing by the bed. You don't expect it.
True.
I can absolutely see that. Guy jumps on top of you, starts trying to kiss you. Right?
Yep.
Okay. Now at that point, you're fighting for your life.
Yeah.
I think. Right? You're
Yeah.
not getting your fucking cock and balls grabbed and your belt unbuckled simultaneously.
Yeah. Violently,
You're
aggressively.
you're
too.
swinging.
Yeah.
I would think.
Delancey yelled out, "No,
Please don't stop.
don't stop! Just please stop, Wellesley." He yelled out no, and then asked to leave the apartment to go see the rooftop of the
I
building.
gotta show me this twink.
So
This
he
fucking-
doesn't just demand to leave
Let
the
me
apartment.
go.
He wants to go up to the rooftop where Wells immediately starts grabbing his cock and balls
Come
again.
on.
It's like,
Oh,
dude,
yeah.
you know, I mean,
No.
at what point are you kind of being a tease
You're
now.
begging for it.
Begging for
I
it.
can't decide if
You didn't want to give it up right away. Clearly,
Yeah, you didn't want to look like a slut.
Right.
I get it.
In
Make
this-
'em earn
I
it,
don't know who
but-
it is, to be honest with you. In the articles I've read, like even like a Daily Mail, they didn't have a picture of him in the article. So this is his name. This is absolutely the spelling of it. Obviously, this is the producer dude. I don't know.
that's not him all the way to the right.
I don't know if this.
Oh, that's got to be him.
There you go.
That's what I kind of.
It's got to be that guy, yeah, to the right.
Yeah.
I mean, if you were going to try to tongue rape anybody, it'd be that guy, right?
I would think in the middle. He looks. A
Oh,
little more,
I was thinking.
I was thinking far right.
I was
this
thinking
guy?
bottom middle. Yeah, that's that one that says Andrew Delancey right there.
Oh, that guy on Quora?
This one. That's who you think he
Or
is.
what's this LinkedIn? The assistant. Because that looks like somebody that couldn't fight a fucking guy off top of him right
This
there.
one right
That
here.
one.
Yeah.
But that's not someone you'd be like, oh, I
Andy
can't.
Delancey.
You wouldn't write that guy and be like, I can't get you out of my head.
There's a
I
picture of
hate to
Fraser
each their
Crane
own.
up here from
Right? Andrew Delancey.
like
Foolish watcher.
Yeah.
Oh well.
All right.
Either way,
Yeah. Well, I'm guessing he's not a
Delancey's,
strapping lad.
Delancey's supervisor told him he could not go to HR about anything, and they were not to be trusted. Well, I agree with him there.
Yeah.
I wouldn't trust HR
Oh,
with shit.
no doubt.
Who needs them? They're a bunch of buzzkills. Remember when Mike Lindell told us that? He's
Yes,
just,
I do.
I blew out the whole HR department. They're a bunch of buzzkills.
It's the best answer.
Absolutely.
Love that.
They are a bunch of buzzkills.
Anybody that's dealt with HR knows.
1 week after the assault, Delancey claimed he was not given the job from the interview Wells arranged for him at a different network. Yeah, dude, you wouldn't
You
play
should,
ball.
right.
Like-
I thought it was a quid pro quo. I
Yeah.
thought we had established.
Yeah.
You said no, so did the job offer.
I believe you put it eloquently a moment ago. You want to go up, you got to go down.
Exactly right.
And as a man, you should know the rules.
Yeah.
You know how the game's played. You know, sometimes you're going to have to get in some
Hey,
situations.
you want to get it
you're
on
not
your
thrilled
own? Go for it.
Yeah.
You want a little help? You got to roll the dice.
I mean, I frankly would take.
Wells told
want to
him-
get up there, man.
Yeah,
I mean, I
I
gotta
mean,
be
you want to be
honest, like-
middling. You want to be middling at Fox, fucking Tampa
Yeah.
Bay forever,
Right.
Got
Let's
a
go to the
chance here.
big dude. You
Got a
want to go to the
chance.
show?
Big city.
Honest to God,
And as
you
a
want to make
guy-
it to the show.
As a guy, it's not like you're gonna get pregnant, so I think I'd be get in.
That wouldn't even cross my mind as an issue. Well, thank God I can't get knocked up. That's the one good takeaway. here.
Yeah, for sure.
Perfect, easy.
That would be in my mind. I'm like, I mean, you know, whatever. If you can't get pregnant, who cares?
Yeah, well, some people care. I'm with you though. I understand where your simpleton mind
Yeah.
is going. I get it. I see how you're crossing that.
I thought about you today. I saw a comedian's little bit was like, all right, this is a horrible joke, I know, but I'm going to say it anyway. Fuck it. He's like, I was dating this girl and I knocked her up. And she's a crazy bitch, so I knew she wanted to have the kid. Fuck, you know? He's like, and then, you know,
Oh boy.
lo and behold, she has a miscarriage on the toilet. He's like, the fucked up part is that I had to pretend to be sad. It's like, and they're like, no,
my
no,
God.
not the baby, not the, not the baby.
You know what? I have to go out to the bar to have a few beers to drown my sorrows.
right.
here.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
gotta go out
yeah.
tonight. My God. Terrible.
Love the
terrible.
the flush mid
love-
fucking crotch. Make sure it's gone.
If that was a real scenario, how long would he have to still play it? Because you'd have to play it up for a while. You can't just do it that
Oh,
night.
you'd have to
be
do it for a couple hours.
Because that girl's
probably.
going to be traumatized for a while, you know,
Oh
sexually.
yeah.
and
Oh
stuff
no,
like
you
that.
cut bait and run at that
Yeah.
point.
Okay,
Cut
okay.
your losses and move on.
Yeah, consider yourself
You do not
lucky.
ever want to be back in that
How
situation.
fast would you break up with her? Really?
What? Oh, I already did.
Okay, okay. When she
In
was
my
pregnant?
mind, we're done. I'm just biding time
But how long would
to
you
not get stabbed.
There you
Yeah,
go.
you don't want your rabbit boiled.
Yeah.
At the end of this.
Yeah.
one.
month?
Oh no, you come up with a thing that there's a trauma. I don't
Yeah.
know that I can overcome it.
Yeah.
I feel like it's
You lost your only son.
yes, right.
I was going to be
I
a father.
trusted you with my seed.
Blame it on her. That'd be some gaslighting.
Gaslight
turning it
ass
around.
shit right
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
You.
Right? Clearly you're an unfit
I have
mother.
to find another person who can actually have a child.
So Wells, to finish up the story, Wells told him. So Wells now is talking to Delancey, and he's furious. He won't take the tongue rape. He won't.
Yeah.
You know, he's the crumb grab and all that stuff. Wells, and I think there's some coded language in here. You tell me if you hear it. He claimed Wells told him he was, quote, not thinking straight, and
Obviously.
screwing himself over for not giving in to Wells's demands. He's like, you're not thinking straight.
Yeah.
And you're screwing yourself.
Actually, you
over.
are thinking straight. I think is part of the problem
Yeah.
there.
Right.
A
Yeah.
little too straight.
Speaking of gaslighting.
Right.
Amidst the Me Too movement, Delancey posted on Facebook about his alleged assault. And then Wells reached out to him and was like, oh, my God, this is terrible. Who assaulted you?
Oh, no.
Oh, can you imagine? Oh, my God.
That's gaslighting 101,
Oh,
right?
that's actually a brilliant move.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
What? Oh, so now it's me? I reached out to you.
Right.
You think, would I have done that if I was the one to do that to you?
Yeah.
Nice try,
Well, here's where we go with
Mo.
this. The lawsuit is being brought through the New York Adult Survivors Act, NYASA. NYASA?
All right.
This meritless legal action was filed 15 years after this incident and mere days before the extended statute of limitations would have run.
I was going to
Harmeet
say,
Dillon
what is
said.
this? What is the statute of limitations on that? Clearly,
Sounds like
Well,
15 years.
remember,
15 years and a day.
no, I think it's like 2 years. But New York added something that they passed last year, or the year before, saying, all right, no matter when it was in your lifetime, you've got 1 year from this date to file it, and we won't care if it was past the statute. So they did that for violent sexual assault rape claims. So people that are like, I was traumatized for 15 years before I even remembered it happened. And it's like, the statute of limitations ran out 13 years ago. You're
Sorry,
screwed.
the priest was banging you when you were 8.
So we're
Right.
seeing a lot of these come up to that date now where it's like all of a sudden it's being filed last minute. Mr. Wells denies the allegations unequivocally and will contest them vigorously. This is yet another attempt by a law firm with a history of suing Fox and its former employees to cash in on frivolous allegations. Tucker Carlson, for his part, now this is his producer that's apparently doing this.
Yeah.
Tucker said, as a general matter, if you believe you've been the victim of a sex crime, you have a moral obligation to alert police so it doesn't happen to someone else. If you wait 15 years to cash in with a civil suit, no one should take you seriously. I certainly don't. I understand both sides of that argument.
Yes, and I mean, is there a paper trail? This is all he said stuff?
Right.
I mean,
Yeah,
is there
probably.
any record of the emails that he sent to HR and them telling him to shut the fuck up? Is there anything to back these claims besides because I said
Probably
so?
not. My guess would be no.
Well,
Especially, because he's using his word like, I went to my boss and they said, don't involve HR. They can't be trusted. So there's probably not going to be a lot there.
No.
And you're going back 15 years. I don't know how many people hang on to all their...
and a guy grabbing your cock and balls, is that really, cop worthy? Are you going to go really press charges?
Personally,
No. Right?
it would have to be
know.
one aggressive...
Yeah. I mean, it'd be
Grab.
vigorous.
It would have to be the level of like Don Lemon. Remember
Exactly.
when he vigorously rubbed his cock
where
and
I was
balls?
going with that,
Yeah, and then mushed it into the
Can't believe you
mustache.
said his name like that.
Oh, Don Lemon. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I was kind of shocked.
Mr. Lemon. And I, for the record, just so we're clear on this, I 100% believe Don Lemon did that.
Oh, no doubt.
And asked if he liked
No
cock or
doubt.
pussy, I believe
Yeah.
was the quote. Do you like cock or pussy? While he was mashing his cock fingers into the guy's
Yeah.
mustache. 100% believe that. Everything I've seen about that guy strikes me as an ego so out of control that he could absolutely do that with a few cocktails in him at a bar.
Yeah.
Like Jesus.
Not. We haven't spent much time of late talking about Hamas, Palestine, India. We try to stay out of it, but because we're morons basically and don't know much about it, and
Exactly.
you're gonna piss.
No matter
people
what
off
you say,
no
you're going to
matter.
piss somebody off. So stay the fuck out of it.
There are reports coming out though that are a tad disturbing, to say the least.
Yeah.
And Hamas terrorists apparently were shooting Israeli soldiers in the vagines and titties
Okay.
as part of a systemic genital mutilation.
Okay.
Reports are coming out now. Some of the female victims were left with agonized looks on their faces in death.
Well, yeah, that'll do it.
By the way, getting
Shot in the box?
Shot in the box.
What?
Shot in the box. It just sounded a little
Where does
insensitive.
it go?
Yeah, I don't know if it
You
travels
think
up.
it's got? I mean, it goes a long way without any real damage.
Well, I don't know if they inserted the muzzle
Oh.
and then pulled the trigger, or if it was
And they
just
just
like
from
shut
here,
up.
just shoot it like shooting a guy in the dick.
Would it feel good for like a split second?
I mean,
Maybe.
if you get shot in the titty, does that give you any added protection?
I would think it's just fat.
Slow
Titties
those
is just
things
fat,
down,
right?
right?
And I think if you hit the canoe, if you hit the top of the clit right there,
Would you
the
come
bullet
right
went in.
before you die?
Yeah, like for a quick second.
It would be a really
Like a millisecond of pellet.
Yeah. But if you were to frame by frame it, you could probably see.
Well, no, that goes against. We had the argument that you wouldn't feel getting shot. I said that it would
That is
hurt for a second.
Right. That is a good
You
point.
said no, that it's so instant you would never feel it. I'm like, well, you'd have to
I
feel
guess it
like,
depends on if
for
the
that
shot's a-
split second that it hits you
Yeah.
before you're dead.
Yeah.
There's a moment that your bullet's
That is a
touching
good
you, but you're not
question.
dead. But it's, well, I realize that it's such a fractional of a
Yeah,
second
yeah.
thing that it's not really there. But
Isis, would you be willing to take like a bullet in the hand or the calf or something so we could test this?
She's the one who wanted to get shot.
well, no,
man.
but
I know he
no, but
did.
it
I
has
know,
to be a
but-
fatal blow because
Yeah.
it's whether or not it
game,
course
hurts.
you're gonna
I'm
feel
game
it
if Isis is.
Yeah, because you're gonna feel that.
but
That's
T,
gonna hurt.
any shot could be fatal if we just let him bleed out.
Yeah, no, the
But
point
no,
is
but
that it
it's
had to be like instant death, like shot right between the eyes. Like the second it touches you.
I don't think you would. I don't think you
Yeah.
would.
Well, I mean, you have to.
The question I always had was, remember we were talking about Un and he was shooting people with
Yes.
with the
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
the
rocket,
the
the RPG.
rockets, RPGs that were meant to take out planes, and he would shoot them at people tied to a telephone pole or something. And it was like,
Would you even?
would you see the flash of the muzzle when the thing was coming at you?
Yeah, because it's not that thing's way slower than a bullet.
Yeah,
You would see. I mean,
but it'd pick up speed quick. But you'd see the flash, right?
oh yeah. I mean, you'd see it come out. A fucking missile coming at you.
Boy,
I've
that's
seen
gotta be-
RPG fly. They're not that fast.
Yeah. Boy, oh boy, that'd be to see that coming.
Yeah. Right. Watch that thing come at you.
Yeah, that's the way to go, though. It's way better than feeding his uncle to the dogs.
Yeah.
Starving
Oh,
a,
yeah,
a pen
for
full
sure.
of pit bulls and letting them go after him. I'd much rather eat an RPG than that.
Absolutely.
What about the pigs like Bricktop?
Oh yeah, they do
Yeah.
that stuff too. I don't know if Un's a big fan of that, but I know he was big with the dogs. So how long would it take you, to
Die from a shot in the box?
yeah, a shot in the box or
It
the
depends on how
titty,
bad
like-
you bleed out.
How far
I think.
away are they doing this from?
Right.
Well,
If you-
we'll
if
get
you
into
gotta be-
that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Well, then we
blank?
do know if it's inserted.
Well, Army Reservist Sherry Mendez said many bodies of the female victims, civilian and soldiers, arrived in bloody, shredded rags or just in underwear. And before you ask, they don't specify if it was thongs or G-strings or full color coverage bloomers. They don't say. So I don't know. I know one of you was going to ask it.
Yeah.
I just don't know.
Can't get much of a tourniquet out of a thong.
No, true. Mendez was speaking at a UN event in New York yesterday titled Hear Our Voices, Sexual and Gender-Based Violence in the October 7 Hamas Terror Attack. Our team commander saw several female soldiers who were shot in the vagine or shot in the titties. This seemed to be a systemic gender mutilation of a group of victims. These women arrived with their eyes open, their mouths in grimaces, and their fists clenched. I remember one young woman whose arm was broken in so many places it was difficult for us to lay
We
her
sure that's
arm
not
in
the O-face?
burial shroud. No, I'm not sure.
Okay. Because they can look very similar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, whether it's a shock. Yeah.
It can look very similar.
Go either way with that.
No doubt.
I'll be honest with
No
you.
doubt. We need
You know,
context. Clenched fist?
Can you imagine
That's-
imagine asking that question to like
Right?
to the girl at the UN.
Yeah.
By the way, hold on, just for clarification, you sure it wasn't an O face? You sure? How could you? I mean, you couldn't ask her. So,
Her leg's still shaking.
yeah, her arm was broken in so many places they couldn't put her in a burial shroud. Her leg too. In her case, the entire left side of her body was shredded.
is there beef here that
Torn
they're-
apart, most likely by a grenade.
their beef is that they're shooting them in this type of way because they're women, or
Yeah,
not
yeah.
the shooting
Yeah,
at.
well,
Like, so if
I
they shot him like a guy,
I think
in
they're
the
trying
head,
to
it's fine, or-
annihilate the race, so it makes sense that they would do things like that. I mean,
Yeah.
killing them is one thing, but
Yeah, yeah.
send a bit of a message.
But
like,
titties?
make sure that no kid can ever suckle from the teat, perhaps?
Yeah, but I
mean,
don't
I
know.
guess
It's
when you're dead, you're dead.
I
You're not-
think you're
there's-
just being a cock at that point.
Well,
You're a
yeah, I
prick.
think we've established that Hamas is fully capable of total cockness.
Yeah. That Mendez says that she and her unit are forced to make a decision to not show the families of dead soldiers their bodies.
Probably
Some were
smart.
shot in the heads and were bashed in so badly their brains.
So wait a
were
minute, would you be?
spilling out.
But again, I'm sorry. Would you be showing them the bodies if it hadn't been for this? Like you wouldn't show them even if they didn't shoot them in the
Yeah, they would.
pussy in the face.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Or
yeah.
tits.
A lot of times, if someone wants
They'll
to see
still
their
show
loved one one
Their
last
heads
time,
bashed in till their brains are oozing out.
that's
they
where
show-
she says, "No, we were not going to show those to them."
Okay.
But
If they-
but if
you know,
but if
you
someone
died
just
with
died of
honor
a
and-
heart attack or
Well,
something,
yeah,
or,
but we're talking about dead soldiers. They're generally not dropping dead of
Right.
heart attacks.
well, yeah, some were shot in the head so many times at close range that their heads were almost blown off. Body bags were piled to the ceiling, lining the corridors in every room. Refrigerator trucks were waiting outside, also full. Body bags just kept coming in all shapes and sizes. Many oozing liquids and floors were
How do
wet.
you go to bed after that?
You don't.
No,
Nah.
no. Like, as a person that's shooting these people, how do you just lay down and be like, well, my
Because
shift's over?
because
that's
of
their
faith.
cause. They
Their
think
faith.
this is what they're doing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is
They believe in what they're doing.
they believe God, their God is upstairs jacking off.
Yeah,
like
I
this
guess
is
so.
porn for
They're
him.
doing what they. This is what they want to
So
do.
this is just,
Yeah.
you just,
Yeah.
not, okay. That's just, I can't even fathom it.
No, it's subhuman. I mean, at some
'Cause
level.
this is- that- even
But-
even people that go to regular war, people can argue whether wars are how often they're actually needed or not. But when you go to it, there's ones that are more like World War II. You're getting Hitler. Okay, you really most people agree this is a good thing that's happening. Yeah. But like in this setting, man, I just can't. I can't fathom that, dude. That's so crazy.
Yeah.
It's so barbaric.
I hope they're right about their God. Because
hope so,
if their
too.
God's not upstairs jacking off
it's
to
not
this,
there, dude,
but look, all gods have their issues. I mean, think about like the closest thing we would have personally to like our God, you're talking about Christ, like our God lost his fucking shit when someone took a bite out of an apple.
Yeah.
I mean, lost his shit.
Yeah,
Kicked everyone out of the kingdom. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Well,
now
he
we're
disobeyed.
Now we're all playing this like.
And we're all playing 2,000 years later. We got to play catch up because fucking.
Yeah, some asshole took a bite out of an apple.
So now we're
It's
all
like,
sinners
well,
because
we're all
of that.
kicked to the
It
curb.
was abroad.
Yeah, well, of course. It
Come
was.
on. Let's be real clear who fucked that up. I digress.
It's funny. I've always thought it is
fucked
funny
that
that it's
up?
not the guy. You know what I mean? Like, tell me that you didn't write the Bible, or tell me you're a guy that wrote the Bible. You know what I mean? Like, no fucking way.
What kind of twisted sadistic shit is that though? Where you have this beautiful land and all this wonderful shit, you're like you can eat anything you want.
All you
anything.
do, just
Take your
don't do
pick.
that.
Just don't eat a bite of that apple. Like
Wow.
apples are delicious. What are we playing this fucking sadistic game for?
It was a
a giant-
test, and she failed.
Yeah.
Miserably.
Yeah,
It's sad. Your guy is a
I
jealous
mean,
guy. You're a jealous
like a
dude.
test would have been like, hey, I know I gave you 2 holes and they're close to each other, but you can only go in one of these holes.
Yeah.
All right, leave the other hole alone. If I find out you've been fucking around in that other hole, this ends. But an apple?
Yeah.
Taking a bite out of a fucking apple?
You even have
Really?
a term for it.
Huh?
Sodomy.
Sodomy.
Sodom and
Oh,
Gomorrah.
what a fucking bullshit! Like,
what?
These two fucking people.
Hey, careful.
And then
You're
they-
going to jeopardize your double wide on the outskirts.
These two fucking people created the whole world. They're like, well, by the way,
Well, Adam was doing his part. It's Eve that fucked everything
what
up.
happens if she doesn't eat that apple?
But how is incest wrong?
We're hanging out in the paradise.
It started from 2 people.
So if she doesn't eat the apple, we don't even need to go to heaven because we're already
No,
gonna be here and
no.
all
We
that
would have just been hanging out in the garden.
It's all. We were already in heaven.
No, that broad took a bite of an apple, and God's like,
5,000 years
I'll
ago,
show
she
you.
fucking eats this apple.
Billions of you will rot down there, and we're going to play a game of Do you believe in me enough?
Yeah.
So that's
And if
why
you
the
don't-
Holocaust happened.
That's why all of it happened.
Dang, man.
One bitch. See how much damage one chick can do
Oh, yeah.
if given the opportunity.
Bitches, man.
Bitches.
then
Am I
some.
right?
That's why. Yeah, that's why I'm single. Can't stand it.
So, let's see. The smell of death was unbearable, impossible to overemphasize the number of bodies we're dealing with. Yanni Sadon, who's 39, told the Sunday Times that he saw Hamas fighters targeting women at the Nova Festival. So that was the
music
EDM
festival when they
festival.
started. Yeah.
I saw this beautiful woman with the face of an angel and 8 or 10 of the fighters beating and raping her. She was screaming.
Festival?
Yeah.
Damn.
yeah, that's when they first
That's where they
attacked.
showed up.
That's not very plur.
That's where they.
man.
That's where they took
Not-
a lot
excuse
of.
me?
Don't plur. Peace, love, unity, respect.
Don't. God damn it. E.
Well, he's not wrong. That isn't very plur.
No, but don't ever say that again.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Especially from a fucking narp like you hearing something like that.
A nerf? What's a nerf?
Well, don't you worry about it. You just know you are one.
Damn.
Yeah. Fucking normal ass regular person.
Oh, wait, whoa. I don't think I'm a normal ass regular person.
It's very not. There's not much normal
Yeah,
at
that's
all
true.
going on over
Yeah,
there.
I wouldn't even. Person's even a stretch.
Regular person. I guess I have an ass, but
So she was screaming, "Stop it! Already, I'm going to die anyway from what you're doing. Just kill me." That's a tough broad, right there.
Oh yeah.
And it sounds like she was a smoke show too.
Oh yeah. Well,
When they were done,
they weren't raping the pigs. I'm sure.
No.
crazy.
Sounds like they were grabbing dudes and fucking gang raping them too.
Wow.
Yeah.
Buchabata. Or whatever the Buchabazi.
infantile, but the idea that the ugly girls were safe.
Right?
Well,
They ran. They didn't get very far, but they ran.
yeah. I don't know if they know what like the just look at her defense is, but
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sure in their version Sharia. They have something along those
Yeah,
lines
yeah.
of,
Yeah.
no, just look at her. Look, but.
Large. Never mind.
So after they were done, they just laughed and shot her in the head.
Big one's just running up into the fucking Hamas
Right.
fighters. Oh,
They're like, ooh,
go away.
fuck off.
You're fine, you're
no,
fine.
Don't. Stop.
Oops,
Get away
my
from-
bloomers fell
Get
down.
away from us.
Yeah. Hamas have been accused of treating living hostages badly. This is fucking crazy. So they've released like 100, I
Yeah.
believe, of the
Whatever.
260 hostages they had.
So they still have Americans, don't they?
Yeah. Oh,
Way to go, Joe.
yeah. Joe doesn't give a shit.
Think there'd still be American hostages if Trump was in office?
I just got a really
No, I
dumb
don't.
question, by the way. Whatever. Excuse my ignorance. I don't even know. I don't even fucking know the name. Is this? What is his name? Haas or whatever?
Hamas?
Is he the leader of
It's not a
whatever's
guy.
happening right
It's
now?
it's a group. It's like ISIS.
Yeah.
Hamas is a group.
I thought he was a guy.
No.
Like I am.
Like, wow, one guy did all this. That's
Yeah.
a bad
Well,
motherfucker.
no,
Holy
but like
shit.
I thought he was the leader of these people and telling them like Hamas. was like,
Hamas has been voted into power, but it's just it's a terrorist.
okay, so
group.
it's like ISIS.
Yeah, it's
okay.
like
It shows,
Taliban.
it's like
things that.
Hezbollah, Taliban.
shows you
know.
exactly how little I've paid attention. I'm
Yeah,
no
fair.
offense.
Well,
but
we're filling
So
in
did you know
that
there's a
stuff.
war between Israel and
I do know something is
Palestine right now?
happening with Israel. Yes.
So they wanted to release a bunch of women, and they were like, let me think. And then they were like, oh, shit. All that stuff we did to those broads, they're going to fucking yap about it. We're going to look like even bigger dicks. So like, you guys can't go. You can't be freed. Because apparently what they've been doing.
Why would you care about your
Why don't
reputation
you
at
just
that
kill
point?
him?
Gruesome.
Why don't you just kill him?
Because they're the hostages.
So what?
What are you
Yeah,
doing? Fuck.
No, I know.
Go get more. What are you talking about?
I know, but it's going to be.
And you're really worried about what you did to these broads?
Well, I
Sorry,
know.
these women, these poor female hostages.
Exactly. No, I'm not saying
At this
it's a
point,
good thing.
they're going to
but-
be too judgy about what we
Right.
did.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't want you to look at us that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, you almost respect ISIS more for just leaning into it.
Yeah,
Like, yeah,
good.
we're cutting
Yeah,
heads
this is
off.
what we're
Fuck
doing.
off.
This is
Is
what we're doing.
ISIS still a
No,
group?
Trump took care of them.
Like legitimately, they're kind of done. Or
Well, I'm
I
sure
mean,
there's still a
gotta
smoldering
be
flame
fractions.
there.
some people
but-
walking around still.
Yeah, we just got to wait till their kids grow up old enough to avenge their
Remember we would
father's
just see
death.
Right.
beheaded videos for a while, like literally on the
Thank
regular?
God. Yeah.
Yeah, on
no,
Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
But God forbid you have a picture of,
Of a mugshot,
Pablo Escobar.
apparently.
A
Yeah.
hero like Pablo.
right?
He wasn't putting fentanyl in our below.
No. He
You know.
kept it clean.
He sure did.
Ran a tight ship.
Let's see. I wanted to show you guys this before we get to an Ask T. Roy and some email.
Okay.
We've got a new logo for a patriotic new logo has been unveiled
Oh,
that will
boy.
be used to celebrate the United States 250th birthday, which is July 4th, 2026.
What kind of a centennial is that?
It's semi-quincentennial.
Semi-quincentennial. Okay.
That's this year?
No, 26.
Oh, okay.
Which celebrates the anniversary of what, Isis?
1776. See?
Duh. Yeah.
The what?
What's up?
What does it signify? Celebrates the anniversary of the signing of.
The Declaration of Independence.
Very good.
Okay. I gave it to him with a 76.
I know you did.
Sorry.
Yeah,
I
you
would have
tried-
known that.
He would have
I
actually.
have a
Isis
weird.
would.
I like American history a little.
American History X.
So this
seen
is set to be a part of an attempt to unite America around the landmark. Well, I don't know if that's going to work. We haven't seen much uniting around. America
yeah,
and all those
yeah.
things, right? The logo
Pre
uses
1970s, pretty much hands off.
the logo uses the number 250 with red, white, and blue outlines, ribbon type font alongside the word America. Wait, no pride flag colors or?
Whoa. All right.
Jesus
hey,
Christ,
I like
what
it.
year is this?
So far, I'm in.
All right, I'll show you guys the logo and see what you think. Honest to God, this is not a
This
joke.
is the one
Okay.
I assume you're wanting up.
Yeah.
Right. Yep. I like it. To be honest with you.
I don't hate it either.
I think it's incredibly basic.
Yeah, they had a whole
Disappointingly
They had a
basic.
whole team work on this for like a year,
Yeah, I think that's awful.
and I think they forgot about the project until the week,
Yeah, right.
the Monday before it was due, and like on a weekend, someone was like,
Yeah, I
"Wait,
get
when's
what you're
that America
saying.
250 logo due?" And they're like, "Oh shit, it's Monday."
No, I want some, and maybe that's the point of it. Maybe everybody hates this country so much now that they're just trying to downplay it a little bit. But I think this
What would you
deserves
want?
something.
What do you like? What do you in your mind? What would be? You want like fireworks off the side or something?
No,
or-
no. That's fucking garbage. Let's
Okay,
let's be real. That's
I don't-
fucking garbage.
I don't hate that. Honestly, I like simple. I do.
garbage.
The fact
For
that they didn't
250
incorporate
years of celebrate, that's what we get is a fucking
yeah.
what bubble tape written fucking 250 with.
Yeah, I know,
I know what
it's
you're saying.
not.
Yeah, there's nothing to that. That looks shameful, is what it looks like.
I get it. I get what you're saying.
It's my personal opinion.
Yeah,
I hate
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Well, Sagi Haviv.
Perfect. Is in charge of this? I
Yeah.
think that answers everything. I think that tells you all we needed to know
Wait,
right
you
there.
don't think Sagi Haviv? You
Fuck,
know,
big fan of the country, obviously.
Sounds like he's from Middle America, doesn't he? Sagi Haviv.
Middle, yeah.
He's one of the designers of the new logo. Said coming up with the right symbol has been tough. Having to test it on everything from T-shirts and hats to cakes. He avoided using the 5-syllable official word for the
Smart.
celebration.
Nobody said to put that fucking disaster on there.
Which is far more of a mouthful than the 200th birthday bicentennial celebrated in 1976. It's almost an impossible construction. I think that has an additional level of meaning because bringing people together today is almost an impossible task. But the result is beautiful. Hundreds of sketches were done by hand, looking for that perfect design, which will be unveiled at the anniversary of the Boston Tea Party later this month. The studio he works at, Shermayeff and Geismer and Haviv, has worked for NBC Mobile, New York University, as well as designing the star emblem for America's bicentennial in 1976. So they've been a part of this kind of logo design for a long time.
Can we see the bicentennial logo
sure.
as a
Yeah,
comparison?
see if you can find that. It's a humbling moment because you come to it with your ideas and you love the things you've created, and then somebody will say, well, it looks like a body part that you don't want it to look cock for sure, right?
Sure.
I mean, anytime someone says, oh,
That or
looks like a
tits.
body part, I think it's mostly cock. Like if there's a cloud.
Oh, yeah, mostly, but I'm saying
it's
that or-
always cock.
Yeah.
When there's a weather front coming in and
Yeah.
the guy does it's always a cock.
Yeah.
Always. So I don't know how doing the
What, the 250 it looks like a cock?
250 looks like a cock or a
I mean, this
vagine
isn't-
or an asshole.
This isn't kind of much different to me if this is the official logo. One
Well, it's
second, I'm trying to-
1976. Now, keep in mind, you didn't have a lot of graphic design programs readily available.
Why is it-
Oh, boy.
Jesus.
Oh, is it?
Jesus.
You know, I've been gone a little.
No, that thing's janky. It knacks it out of your hand.
Yeah, it looks like it belongs on a VFW. American Revolution Bicentennial.
I think that's it. From what I've googled.
Yeah, I mean,
that would make
listen,
sense.
it's the same garbage fucking bubble tape ribbon
Yeah.
shit they used in the other one, so
That's
it
what I was
probably
gonna say.
is.
It kind of like
And this was so. Wait, you're telling me that this studio did this 50 years ago?
Yeah. And in 50 years, they came up with the new one.
here. This is like kind of a better look at it. I guess the old
On the
one.
postage stamp, sure. At least, I mean, I don't love that one either. Not gonna lie.
Well,
So,
this one
I-
at least says, no, I don't like this one at all, but it fits the 70s.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I
This
mean?
is
Like
76, right?
Yeah.
This looks like
It's got the star
Battle of
in
the
middle,
Network
at least.
Stars
Yeah.
intro. or
I was
something.
trying to think of it. Battle of the Network Stars, dude. 100%.
Yeah.
Wide world of sports type shit. It does say American Revolution Bicentennial with the
And
dates.
with the year, exactly.
He's right. You couldn't do semi-quincentennial.
No,
Like
yeah.
that would just be a shit show.
Nope. And nobody's asking you to put that on there. I just think that logo.
Let me see 250 again. Because his thought was he liked it.
I didn't hate
My
it.
thought is I like simple. I like simple on any design that I've got anything to do
I
with.
will say
I'm not into wild like too much shit. I don't want.
Looking at it again, Troy, I wouldn't say I love it. I just don't hate it as much as you. I would
Yeah,
say.
I just think it's very underwhelming.
Yeah.
But I think
That's it.
again in his mind he's looking for maybe he mentions hats and stuff like really a
Cakes.
small logo
Yeah.
to be to fit in places.
Would
I
you get
suppose.
that tattooed on you?
No, I would not. But no.
Yeah, but you've got some really stupid tattoos. I mean,
I like all my tattoos. I'm getting a new one here at some point.
Are you? What are you
Yeah,
getting?
Mackinac themed from the summer. I'm
In the
getting-
bridge?
Okay.
No, it's gonna be. I have it down kind of pat. I got to go to a place and see what. But I got something with the horses and the island and the name of the horses and stuff. So
right.
yeah.
You
We got a
should
new one
get
coming.
each horse's face tattoo.
And then every
Well,
year you're going to
horses
put
are
the
too
new
hard.
horses on there.
I'll probably do a separate one. I said,
And when
well,
they die, can you cross them out?
Don't say that. I can't-
How many are crossing out already?
Oh boy.
So the new Jessica isn't even. So there was Dex and Holiday. They're the only ones going on the tattoo. Jessica's not going on the tattoo. She was only
You
there
don't
for
want
2
that brought
weeks.
on.
Oh, all right.
No.
She was only there for 2
Is
weeks.
she going to be the same bitch next year?
We don't know. I'll find out.
Oh.
You don't know
It's
how
just
that
random
works.
luck of the draw?
It's
Because those aren't your just average horses. Those
No,
are
no,
work
no.
horses. Those the ass hind end on those things. Man.
most likely we would get the same duo unless something happened during the winter. Because that's what happened last year. Was supposed to be a course called Gunner and Ice, and unfortunately,
Oh, that sounds like a badass fucking tool.
everyone apparently loved them. And
Yeah.
apparently Gunner unfortunately passed away during the winter, and then we got Dex and Holiday. So
Oh man, what happened to Ice? Just couldn't carry on without his partner?
when they're partners
Without-
and a partner goes away, sometimes that's it.
That's it.
Yeah. If they've been together a long enough time.
Without Crockett, there's no Tubbs.
Yeah, I guess
There you
so.
go.
Yeah.
yeah. Duke brothers.
I was going to say, you got stuck with Coy and Vance? Bo went down and you got Coy and Vance.
I will say this, Mike, you'll like this. So Holiday has the mustache, so one of the horses, and then not a lot of horses on the island have a mustache. And even though I don't 100% know I'm getting him back, I still want it just in case. So it has a few Christmas presents I'm getting, and one of them is going to be a personalized, fancy mustache comb that says Holiday on it.
Oh, nice.
So when I'm down there,
Who's getting you that for Christmas?
Santa.
Oh, okay, good.
Santa.
Yep.
Yeah.
Black Santa in a wheelchair.
Sure.
All right.
We're inclusive at the Fady Hut Manor.
All right, let's do an Ask T-Roy if you're up for it, T.
Sure.
Do an email and we'll get out of here.
All right.
Dear T-Roy, and feel free to jump in as well as this.
Thank you.
T goes first, though. It's his bit.
Yeah, I understand.
Dear T-Roy, I'm a divorced dad with 2 adult daughters.
I heard
Okay.
divorce, and I was hoping it was going to be wife. But
No. with 2 adult daughters
Okay.
and a 14-year-old daughter.
Oopsie.
Okay, so 2 adults and 1 14.
Yeah.
I don't know how hot she is. Don't even ask guys.
Right.
I mean, they're adults. He says adults.
No, I was
so
talking about
That's
the
who he's talking
14-year-old.
about.
I was talking
No.
about the 14-year-old.
No,
It
you've been gone.
Doesn't say.
because ages are out the window now? Nice.
My
Good to know.
older daughters are learning to be responsible for themselves.
Have
and
a
I
seat
am,
right over there.
I am proud of them. All right, you guys got to pay attention here.
We're listening.
Proud of him.
My older daughters are learning to be responsible for themselves, and I'm proud of them. The question I need help with involves my youngest. Again, we don't know if she's hot or not, but
Yeah.
the problem's with that 14-year-old. She doesn't want to go to school. She stays awake on the phone. I have taken 2 of them from her, yet her mom keeps giving her phones. I've unplugged the Wi-Fi. I've tried talking to my ex about this to no avail. Yeah, that's bullshit.
I might have to sit this one out. I'm a little triggered.
Is hitting a little close to home. I'm not perfect. I have said things I regret, but I've always loved my daughters. I have explained that my teen is pushing me away, but my ex doesn't give a shit. My heart hurts. Must I just let go? Heart hurting D.
Damn.
Well, there's no letting go.
Well, hold on. I mean, maybe not the end of the world. If you got 2 good ones that are
Yeah,
adults, you can't
that's-
throw
2
the
or
third
3
one
isn't
away.
bad.
Nah, there's no letting go.
I tell my parents that all the time. Hey, as Meatloaf taught us, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Kristen's killing it. G's killing it.
Fair.
You got fucking me. Whatever.
Right.
I'm right there with you.
Oh yeah, I know. You know what it's like.
2 or 3.
Yeah, I don't have an answer because I've struggled with that. Eventually, you stay the course, and they seem to come around. Hopefully, is the goal.
Yeah.
But in that moment, it can be absolutely, especially 14. God, they're such cunts at that age.
I was going to
God
say
damn.
that's this like literally throwing out there that she's 14 seems like
Yes.
the absolute
Oh,
worst
yeah.
age to be having this conversation.
Yeah.
If she was 30,
Yeah.
but 14,
And it's
yes.
a delicate balance because the discipline and the blowback from it is how hard do you go, because I can go to the fucking moon, but
Yep.
where does that put you? Where do you end up with that?
What do you mean?
I mean, I can go take this as far as you want to go. I can take the phone. I can lock you in the room. I can beat your fucking ass. Whatever, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
however far you want to escalate this is I'll match you there.
Yeah. The problem is there's no cap to that on either side.
But they're stupid. And that's the difference that you have to understand, is you have to rely on your experience and your knowledge to know that they're just fucking retarded at that point. And you just try and stop them from making catastrophically bad decisions.
Right. Right.
But
like getting their tits removed? or
things like
something?
that,
Yeah.
sure. Like failing out of school, things like that. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't have an answer because every kid, every situation is different. But
I've
good luck to you,
learned-
sir. You should have let that fucking oopsie fucking slip.
Yeah.
You're stuck with it to the head.
I've seen, obviously almost all my friends have kids.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter if my friends were like, oh my God, all I did was study all day and I got perfect grades and I was a model citizen and blah, blah, blah. Their kid still might be a shitbag.
Yeah.
And you can have someone that fucking rock star partied their whole lives, was out of control and blah, blah, blah. And you go, I bet their kid's fucked up. And no, they're not. They're a 4-point on a scholarship to U of M. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter. And it seems like everybody's trying to get there with their kids to the right place and bring them to this world. It's like, I know how difficult I was. It was a problem that I still apologize to my folks over. They were right 100% of the time. I guarantee you're right 100% of the time when dealing with your daughters. But yeah, it's like it is a coin toss.
it's irrelevant in the time. Like I said, you lay the groundwork. You hope eventually they come around and they'll figure it out.
Right.
Hopefully sooner than later.
Yeah.
But in the moment, it can be the most infuriating, frustrating thing you've ever, because, right? Like at some point, what can you do? You've exhausted all options. What?
Yeah, you can't beat the shit out of
do?
them.
Right.
What do you do? Send them to
Military school? Right. No, it's not.
I don't think parents still threaten that anymore.
Yeah, they do. And I have that. I have that on the table, honestly, like with Marshall. And it's like, he's fucking around in some areas, and I'm like, dude, this kid's reminding me way too much of me. I don't know why, but you've got to keep all options open because someone needs to pound into this kid.
Yeah.
Unacceptable.
At some point,
and believe me, the warden, I bet the warden would just be like, all right, fine, dickhead, you want to behave like this? Yeah. You've got every fucking advantage on planet Earth, you white little shit. You're going to boarding school. You're going to military school. I'm sorry.
Might blow up in your face. Again, who knows?
I don't know how that usually works. Does that usually blow up in
I've
people's
never
face?
heard of anyone that actually did it.
I think those guys get the shit kicked out of them by those,
Great. And does that really make them a better human?
No. I mean like broken down and built back up into because a lot of the problems are just confidence levels or lack of respect for authority. Like there's all kinds of underlying things that if you get, like the military's very good at.
The beatings will continue until morale improves.
Yeah. And it's not a physical beating, it's a mental beating and breakdown. You know what I mean?
Both.
So, what's that?
I would imagine both.
Yeah, it definitely can be.
Maybe.
Boarding schools and military schools.
Yeah, maybe. All right, let's do an email. I completely disagree with that, and I know you referenced a documentary and that you're open to other information. Yeah, that documentary is The Fall of Minneapolis. Just Google it. It's done by I want to say a Minneapolis journalist, think your local Fox 2 TV chick that does investigative, hard-hitting reporting, whose husband also happened to be like at one point a sergeant with the Minneapolis PD. And so she had tremendous access to the cops and their training and interviews and blah, blah, blah. Again, that's called The Fall of Minneapolis. Yeah. And it's great. What I've seen of it, I still haven't gone back to finish it, but what I've seen of it is you go, oh, shit, I didn't know that. Boy, I wish I would have known that part of the story. So, so anyways, I started off thinking that he was responsible, and it was at least manslaughter when it first happened a few years ago. But there's not much that you need to know, in my opinion, to show that Chauvin is completely innocent. First off, the Minneapolis PD handbook back then allowed for the use of putting the knee on the neck to restrain somebody. That's true, and a lot of cops in this documentary do talk about that. You can restrain somebody by putting your knee on their neck and holding them down without pressing your weight on it. I demonstrated this myself by putting a Kleenex box under my knee without crushing it. Well, that's all the evidence I need.
Well,
I mean,
right.
Let's wash our hands of this. We're good.
This guy who wrote an email, but his knee.
Yeah.
That's Barry.
Barry.
Barry wrote this email.
Barry Sanders?
I don't think so. Barry Chauvin, maybe? Chauvin? Without crushing it. But having it between my knee and the floor seems silly, and maybe that sounds silly, but it's how my curious mind works. Most importantly, though, George Floyd complains about not being able to breathe before they pull him out of the car and then put him on the ground and later under the knee. He's in the back seat of the police car continuing to say over and over, I can't breathe. It's because he ingested the drugs he had on him to hide them from the police, and those drugs had fentanyl. There's video evidence of this when it is slowed down and reviewed carefully. I've seen it. He's done it on video multiple times, popping shit in his mouth and swallowing it. He would probably have a decent tolerance for that, for sure. And I can't breathe. The funny thing about the I can't breath narrative, if you can say I can't breathe, you're breathing. Right? So part of that, he was also screaming that he was claustrophobic. I thought the cops were incredibly nice in that. That's why he was out of the car to begin with.
Sure.
He wanted to be out of the car. He did not want to be in the car. Meanwhile, they picked him up in the vehicle across the street. So, how claustrophobic he was. It's not like they threw him in the trunk. Let's see. The autopsy shows he had no bruising to his neck, no damage to his carotid artery or windpipe or anything. What he did have, however, a lethal amount of fentanyl in his blood, which would cause him to feel like he can't breathe and slowly kill him. It's just the worst and most unlucky thing for Derek Chauvin that he restrained the guy with his knee on his neck while he was slowly fading away due to fentanyl poisoning. I don't want George Floyd I don't want him to have died. I don't wish that on anybody, even if they are a scumbag criminal. But I think it's terrible that Derek Chauvin is locked up for doing something he didn't do, and now his life's in danger. Additionally, there was a whistleblower from the prosecutor's office that came out and said something to the effect of them ignoring the autopsy facts during the case in the prosecution. Didn't get a lot of press, obviously, as you are someone that understands why, and it's hard to find that story now. Other than that, I will be at the Lodge on Friday. I hope to see you there. It's been a long time since I've been able to say hello to you in person. Hope you're feeling and doing well. Well, thank you, Barry. Yeah, please come say hello.
Yeah.
Do you want to respond to that?
Listen, first of all, I say a lot of shit. So, I mean, second of all, when I said, and I did say that very specifically, responsible for his death on some level.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think that he choked him out with his knee and killed him.
No.
I wholeheartly believe that. Now, you can argue why he's still in the street after 10 minutes. Why he's not in the car, he lets him out, why he's not getting medical attention, all the other things. Directly responsible. Do I think he killed him? No. I don't.
Do you think he went out to murder him that
No,
day?
oh God, no.
Yeah.
Not even close. And I don't think, but when I say he's responsible on some level,
And all
it's
things
because
being-
he's the one that's holding him down as he's dying, as opposed to him getting some sort of medical attention to potentially save his life too.
And I think
I
those
guess you
guys
don't know
called
that he's-
immediately. It took forever to get an ambulance.
It's still
there.
getting it there,
Yeah.
right? Okay,
Which is not those initial cops' fault, but
Yeah.
that's the situation they're in. I would say with him.
But I've been a Chauvin defender really since
Yeah.
all along.
Well, it's not even Chauvin defending. It's, I know, because I'm saying the same
anti-system. The fact that it was just a sham all the way around.
thing. The way that prosecution went through, it's the same thing they tried to do with what's his name, the kid. Rittenhouse.
Yeah.
Where it was just like, this is such an abomination to anybody that's paid attention to any level of law
right.
or a courtroom setting. Like, that was such an egregious fucking joke. And I know there's people listening right now that think, fuck that kid, he's a murderer, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, whatever.
Whatever. That's why he got shanked in prison, so that you couldn't
Chauvin?
if you couldn't to not have a retrial.
Yeah, maybe. But I would ask you this, T. All things being equal, that day, had he not tried to pass off a fake $20 bill and the cops never showed up, what do you think the odds are that this dude just collapses and dies on the street right there?
None, because he doesn't ingest the drugs.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and it could be, I'm glad you mentioned that. It could be the fucking fact that he threw a handful of things in his mouth
Right.
and swallowed them, and then over the next 45 minutes, that killed him.
Exactly. Right.
There's probably a level of stress on the
Why?
body
when you
because
rip
of
a line of fentanyl, it kills you almost instantly because it's
for
just
some. I don't know enough about that because, dude, I used to get fentanyl patches and shit.
That's completely different. I mean,
but it's the same drug. It's more powerful than heroin or whatever.
I understand it,
they
but
say,
it's also about dosages too. I mean, taking an aspirin and taking a million aspirin are not the same thing. But it's still aspirin.
No, yeah, true.
Right.
No, the problem
I
for most
know
people,
two guys
and why
that
I mentioned his tolerance.
I know two guys that OD'd on it. That fucking beers were still on the table.
Yeah.
Not even opened.
Yeah, they didn't even get that.
Sat down, busted out a rail, grabbed 2 beers. Both died on fucking 2 couches next to each other.
Yeah.
Beers weren't even cracked yet.
Yeah.
So,
but would that same thing happen to someone with an opiate tolerance? Probably not.
maybe not.
Maybe not, but probably not.
Right. Regardless,
If you
swallowing it just takes longer to get in through your system.
Right.
That's what I'm saying, is that that's why there's a delay in that. That not all things and not all conduits are the same.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know. I appreciate your email.
absolutely.
And Barry, I think it was. And no, it's an interesting discussion. Unfortunately, the thing that is so troubling with so many of these stories is when people have it in their mind, like, I know what it is, and my side says X, there is no middle ground of like, well, let me show you a couple things, and then tell me what you think. It seems like that has gone out the window, where you could just casually talk to someone and go, like you did with your daughters when they didn't know that what was the case where
the Rittenhouse that they killed they were all black people. The Rittenhouse killed.
Like,
he just went in there just blasting the blacks.
Yeah.
Because he was a total racist.
And they're trying to make that argument to you, going, he killed Black Lives Matter people at a protest, blah, blah, blah. He killed black people. And if that's the narrative you've been taught by your side, that this white kid took an AR-15, went to a Black Lives Matter rally, and just started willy-nilly gunning down black people.
Fire on black people.
It's like, you would think, how does anyone have an opinion other than this guy needs to rot in prison for it? Like, of course, but that's not what happened at all. And thank God he killed those fucking people. because both of them were goddamn pedophiles. They were horrible people.
Yeah, and
horrible
he would probably
human
be
beings.
dead himself.
Yeah, yeah. So anyway, why don't we leave it there? Isis, it's
Okay.
good to see you.
Thanks for coming, buddy.
Oh, thank you.
Always a pleasure.
Isis said he was getting the itch, and so he was feeling it.
Yeah, from not shaving the balls.
Yeah,
that too.
That, yeah.
Several
But
things.
from
No,
not
just
being not doing shows, are you going to come back this week?
Yeah, you were on
Thursday or
a
something?
social media hiatus,
Yeah,
weren't
I
you?
was for a month, which it's good
Did
to
anyone
do.
care?
But
Where people?
I don't know.
How does he know? He's on social media.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's true.
How did it feel?
It felt good.
Yes.
It felt good.
But
to do
now
it.
it's time. You're
But
starting
I
to get
was.
the itch.
I told him like, even last week. I was
Gotta get your
getting there.
Gotta get your ego stroked here
Yeah,
and
I
there.
like talking. I like doing the thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
no, I was thinking I'd come and do a few shows a week here. I don't know what the schedule
Sure.
for you guys is, but that's what I
Yeah,
kinda
going into
planned.
Christmas and stuff.
Yeah.
for sure,
For sure.
Well, we'll do it again on Thursday with you.
Sounds good.
So, but yeah, we'll call it there. Thank you for hanging with us today. We certainly appreciate everybody. Hopefully, you'll join us tomorrow.